live.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? Wow, you got it already?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, the interwebs must be good today in the fan cave.
They're so good. Pop out chat. Close that out. All right. Yeah, I'm all in, dude.
Nice. Wow.
I go to the channel now. I don't just wait for the bell.
Oh, you
I go
just
straight to
that's
the
what I
source,
do. I go
dude.
straight to the channel, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
All right, we'll give it a couple minutes. Let some people hop in here.
Just press the damn button.
I'll get to it, Swag Jeff.
Matthew Mangus. Jeff, get the hell out of Masha's chair. Hey, if he's left this seat open for this long,
right?
It's time to jump in, man. Someone's got to fill this chair.
I forgot to get us beverages for the holster.
Get the holster ready, bud.
You want some?
Yeah, give me one. Trinidad, Sugar Shane. What's up, fellas? Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a fun one tonight. Episode 206. Matthew, it's going to be okay, buddy. He's pretty upset about the chair situation. Chill out, bruh. You'll be all right.
It's
so
okay.
Mosh.
If Mosh is going to be okay with someone sitting in his chair.
I leave him gifts every time.
That's exactly right.
He's got like 3 bags of powdered donuts underneath here and a Slim Jim.
All right. We ready to go? 206?
We waiting on Ron?
Oh, Ron's not in there? We're going to have to materate our own chat here?
No. I ain't got time for that.
We might have to keep an eye on it, man. Don't get all wily in there until Ron comes in.
Yeah, no. We got to wait for the boy, man.
How long are we going to wait? How long are we going to hold the door for?
Another 30 seconds, probably.
Okay. Well, let's see. This thing will...
Yeah. Daniel Mangus coming in. Jeff, get the hell out of Mosh's chair.
Everybody
Mangus
on
guys. Find your own damn chair, bruh. You'll be all right.
Don't be chair monitors.
Yeah. We good? We good? Oh my gosh. They're literally sitting next to each other. They literally said the same thing.
Yelling at you in their own Mangus cave.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you in
Matthew, I gave you a sizzler last week because you said the F word. So mind your own damn business, bruh.
Nice to Swag. Oh my gosh, too funny.
Sugar Shane says, good job getting the bus from the boys and hauling it off. Respect.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shane. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
Lino,
Full Metal Mexican.
what's up,
Lino.
buddy?
What's up, bruh? I'm all about some Full Metal Mexican, bruh.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Mosh's favorite name out of all of our...
I know, man.
All of our folks.
I know. Yeah. Full Metal Mexican. We're bros, man.
All right, let's get this thing going. Ron, I don't know where Ron is. We're just going to have to keep an eye on our chat
Yeah, we'll
tonight.
be all right.
We'll do our best. All right, let's kick off episode number 206 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Kolesnikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
Oh, is it time to do the show now?
Let's do the show, man.
What is up, Raider Nation? Welcome to episode number 206 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live here from Murf's Fan Cave. We appreciate everybody that has jumped into the chat and is joining us in here tonight. And my name is Murf, and so I'm the co-host of this thing that we call Raiders Fan Radio on the Murf's Fan Cave YouTube channel. And so, and also anywhere you can find a podcast, an audio podcast, you can find us by just looking for Murf's Fan Cave. That is MURFS Fan Cave. And so I am your, I'm your host, Murf, or Murfer, or the Murf or El Murferino if you're not into the whole brevity thing. Yeah. Yeah. You can tell I just saw The Big Lebowski not long ago. Anyways, so anyways, my name is Murf, and I co-host the show with my Uncle Mosh, who's my real life uncle, who's not here tonight. He hasn't been with us for a hot minute, but we are excited to welcome him back, hopefully very, very soon. So we'll look forward to his return. And then also my best friend in the whole world, we call him Swag Jeff, and he's here and he's adorning the southern annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk. Welcome to the show, Swag Jeff.
Yeah, yes.
What up, bro?
Dude, I'm so pumped for this show, man. It's going to be
gosh,
a good one.
Right?
It felt a little weird because, normally your start of the show, you say, what is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we hope to be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. You didn't do none of that.
I didn't do that?
No, you didn't do any of that, dude.
Why did I not do that?
I don't know, man. You throwing me off a little bit.
Well, hit the Wayne's World.
Yeah. So,
all right, here we go. Try this again. What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murf back once again for what we hope will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live from Murf's Fan Cave, episode number 206. Yes. And not only am I going to host this show tonight by my... wait, dang it. Hit it again. What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murf back once again.
You're not the old buddy.
Oh. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murf back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Raiders Fan Radio episode number 206, coming to you live here from Murf's Fan Cave. But I do not do this show alone. Always, as always, and for the most part, welcome in to the show my best friend in the whole world, the guy that adorns the western annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk, the one and only Swag Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Did I get it that time?
Yeah, absolutely. Uncle Mosh is your uncle in real life, and I'm your best friend in real life.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. Yeah, ready for the show,
there
dude. Episode 206. It's gonna be a fun one, and I'm ready to roll, man.
We got a lot to get to tonight, and then I even got my kid in real life who's over there playing video games. Vinnie, reach around, say hello.
Vinnie.
Wave at him.
Put some drawers on, bro.
I think Vinny's going to jump in and help us with some emails in a little bit.
He is.
And usually my boo, look at, she's there. There's my boo Max.
Oh, Max. Yeah, we got a bunch of people in there. Aaron the Q-Dog Raiders in there. Of course, your boo Max. Our best friend Michelle Sweat. Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland. Both the Mangus boys. Atticus B. Rockin'. Navy Vet 43. Chevy Silver Raider. Ron the Mater Raiders in there. Of course, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. The whole gang. Kill Jadis is in there. He's doing jury duty right now.
Wow.
He's doing jury duty, and he's taking a break. He went outside for, he probably told him that he was a smoker or whatever, and came out and said hello to the chat and all that. So, yeah, and Trinidad's in there. The whole crew, Big Easy. We got everybody in here, man.
Very cool. Thank you all so very much for joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. As usual, so much to get to tonight. We call this the offiest of the off season. Like, you would think there wouldn't be a whole lot to talk about this time of year.
Yeah.
But there's so much to get to. We're going to start off with Jeff, of course, referencing back our episode number to something significant in Raider Nation. We're going to talk about our upcoming Fanny Awards. We're going to give some respect. We're going to talk about OTAs in the offseason. We're going to talk about the greatest Raider coaches of all time.
Nice.
We're going to talk about this amazing show that came out not long ago called The Dark Side of Football. And I'll tell you all about it later, but basically know this. They featured a huge episode on the Raiders. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, we're going to jump into the Sea of Fans mailbag, and we're going to hear from our favorite folks out there in Raider Nation, which could be you. You're only our favorite because they're the ones that called and reached out to us this week. Yeah. Anybody else that's in the chat or within the sound of our voices, we would love to hear from you. And you can call the show at any time at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. leave us a voicemail. And if we play that message 3 times on our show, we refer to you then as a made man or a made woman.
Absolutely.
So definitely jump in there, or you can email us an indefinite amount of times at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. So please do us a favor and contact us because our show is better with more of you. More of you and less of us is a good thing.
It's always the best.
Absolutely.
Always the best.
So as I mentioned kind of here at the beginning, first off, thank you to all the donations. I know Jeff keeps track of that. And so thank you to the Super Chat donations that are coming in.
We've got 2 donations so far from Matthew Mangus, a $2.99 donation and a $1.99 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
So cool.
Absolutely. And right now, are we still going Bolitnikoff?
Yeah, so we're kind of back and forth. So we had such success with shipping. So I got a lot of S's in there. Such success with the auction, the silent auction that we did for the Raiders ship, that it jumped our number up to a lot closer to $2,000.
Yeah.
Instead of the original, like we said, we were going to do like $1,200 for Bolitnikoff. It got us closer to $2,000. And so I thought, you know what? Maybe we just go ahead and keep, because look, any of the money you send us, we give it away. We decided to shift gears after Bolitnikoff to the Greater Youth Sports Association, but I think we've got something else unique coming up for them.
Yes.
So a lot of the money we've decided to still kind of shift it back towards Bolitnikoff, and especially since Michelle was so kind to create that big, beautiful
gosh. It
ship.
was so amazing.
So amazing, and it generated a really good chunk of change.
Yeah.
And so we and Bolitnikoff Foundation is kind of close to her heart. She told us that. And so,
yes.
So we want to honor that. So we decided to give that money to Bolitnikoff. And since we're getting so close to $2,000, I thought, well, heck, let's just run that thing up to another couple $1,000, and then maybe there's an opportunity for us to present that money again live like
at
we
the
did
Crab
2 years
Fest.
ago.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you and Max are going to go to the Crab Fest this year. My wife, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wife, if you're listening, can we go? Can we please go to Vegas?
Well, and like Jeff Murphy's kicking around, maybe being able to go.
Him and Scarlett getting to go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and even Michelle, his sister, and hers even kicking around.
Absolutely.
Going. So that would be amazing if we had like a huge representation.
Huge, man. And they're doing it at the Paris this year, right?
At the Paris in Vegas.
Oh, dude, yes.
Yeah, we would have all the fun.
Well, yeah, and like this is going to be the first Crab Fest for Bolitnikoff in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were starstruck last year, or last time we went with, Tom Flores there and Art Shell and all that stuff. First one in Vegas, yeah, all of them are going to be there.
All of them are going to be there.
Yeah.
We might even catch a Gruden sighting or something. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, Charles Woodson,
Oh,
a lot,
bro.
You know what I mean?
Dude, if Charles Woodson is there, we're going to legit freak out. Like, I'm so, like I fanboy enough, and you're a little more cool about it than I am. But I get in my feelings about I get so starstruck. And I'm not
you, man.
And I feel like I should be cooler. Like, I'm way more comfortable now doing the show and talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like we're all oh yeah, this is all this and that. When I'm in the moment around these things,
dude,
I get even this last week, and we'll talk about what we had going on. I get in a way, dude. I'm sorry. I'm too big of a fan of the NFL as a whole and the Raiders.
Yes.
Most importantly, you put me around people that are significant in that world.
Yes.
I freaking
and that's what I'm saying.
I get weird.
So absolutely. So the first one in Vegas. There's a home game a couple days later. I mean, it wouldn't shock me. What if Marcus Mariota was there? Because he ain't doing nothing else. Because Derek Carr's the starting quarterback.
Out, bro.
I'll cry.
You'll flip out.
I'll flip out. I'll flip out. Absolutely. Because I'll always have my Marcus jersey under anything that I wear. So I'll just have to pull up my shirt and tie and have him sign my chest. You know what I mean?
You'd like that.
I'd love it. I'm all about dude.
Just right across your nipple instead. Just use that for the O in Mariota.
Yeah, why not, dude?
Hey, man, whatever.
Why not, dude?
Hey, whatever happens, it's just natural, man. Just let it go.
Just let it flow, man.
Marcus,
yeah.
Here's a Sharpie. Just do what you do, man.
Hey.
I'm your Marcus. I'm your canvas.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
We're running out of time. My life is running out of lifespan.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's so good,
Jeff,
man.
take us to 206. Yeah. I got to go move that light. That light over there's on my eyes. So
okay. Yeah, move the light. Okay. So Bolitnikoff, thank you so much, for all the donations. Matthew Mangus, $2.99 and $1.99. Yes, that is going to be, we get to go and do that awesome thing at Bolitnikoff, but we're representing you.
Amen.
and everything that you guys have done, because 100% of the proceeds, whether it's, YouTube monetization, stuff from our podcast, the super chats, all that stuff,
advertising, all of it,
merchandise sales, all that stuff, 100% of that is going to the Bolitnikoff, and we're going to present a fat check to them, and it's all because of you. It's not just us, it's you. You guys make this show, so thank you so much for everything that you do. Yeah, absolutely. We'll give you a round of applause for that. But yeah, absolutely. So every episode number, Swag Jeff takes a significant moment in Raider history and relates it back to the episode number. And this episode is number 206. And I got a really good one for you, Murph. Okay. I got a really good one, and I have more than one.
You do?
I have more than one, dude. Yeah.
So you got 206.1 and 206.2?
No, they're both right on the money.
Right on the nose. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. All right.
And so the first one, and it's an obvious one, and it's a great one. It's a career stat, and it's short and sweet and to the point. One of the best players to ever play for the Raiders, and really, in my opinion, one of the best to ever play his position in the NFL.
Oh, gosh.
We're going to talk about punter Shane Leckler.
Oh, come on. Let's go.
Leckler. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go.
One of our favorites, man. Just an absolute clutch kicker, clutch punter, all that stuff.
And a hell of a quarterback.
Man. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He played 206 games in silver and black.
No way, dude. Yes.
Absolutely.
Nicely done, Jeff. Nicely done.
Absolutely. Respect to Shane Leckler. But the bonus, and I had to dig for this one a little.
Okay.
I had to dig for it a little. We're going to go back to October 8th, 1965.
Oh, gosh.
October 8th, 1965.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Walk me into this thing. I want to see if I can guess some of this.
Okay. The Oakland Raiders are playing a game.
Okay.
Against a team from Boston.
Okay.
A team from Boston. What were they called back then?
Still the Boston Patriots, yes.
It's the Boston Patriots.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So, and they're playing at Fenway Park.
Oh, yeah.
At Fenway Park. Tom Flores, quarterback at the helm.
Absolutely.
The Raiders beat the winless Patriots.
Okay.
24-10 that game.
Okay.
It was a great game. Tom Flores had a great game, but this Raider that I want to talk about stole the show.
Okay.
We're talking about our favorite wide receiver, Art Powell. Art Powell. Give him a round of applause.
Freddie B?
No, Art Powell, dude.
Oh, Art Powell. I think.
Yeah.
I think you said Art Powell.
No, Art Powell.
Oh, I think you said our Powell.
Sorry, I got that little southern twang.
I'm like, wait a minute, did Freddie B get?
It's Art Powell, man. It's Art Powell.
Because I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, Freddie B didn't get drafted until a few years later. But okay, I got you.
So Art Powell had an incredible game. He had a pair of touchdown catches, and he had 206 receiving yards that game.
Yes,
absolutely.
dude.
Absolutely. Now, this performance was the only 200-plus yard receiving game by a Raider until the year 2017.
You're kidding.
Yes. Art Powell was the only player or only receiver to have 200-plus receiving yards until Amari Cooper in that crazy game against Kansas City in 2017.
No.
Absolutely.
Crap,
so,
dude.
yeah, dude, he held that record forever, man.
That's legit,
and, of course, we broke that again with the great Darren Waller this season. But
yes,
yeah, man, there hasn't been that many 200-plus yard receiving games, and it was interesting to me because we've had some elite wide receivers,
like Timmy Brown,
Tim Brown, Cliff Branch, Fred Bolitnikoff, even Jerry Rice, and all those guys that were just are legends. And yeah, Art Powell was the only one that held that record.
Warren Wells, there's a bunch of them,
dude.
man.
Yeah, until 2017, man.
No kidding. It just shows you how much the Raiders have always been a running team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what
era. You don't got to throw 200 yards when you got Marcus Allen or Bo Jackson or
Van Egan or
Charlie Garner.
absolutely.
Tons of them. But yeah, man,
Wheatley, Crockett, tons and tons, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Respect Art Powell, man.
Yeah, man, that's legit swag, Jeff.
Yeah,
I love it when
stuff.
you teach me something.
I know,
I love
right?
That's my favorite part of this segment.
Yes.
Is that, for being look, I'm a middle-aged guy nowadays, you know what I mean? Like, I've been around this team for a hot minute and know, enough to host a podcast about them. And so I love it when you teach me something and I get hip to something like that. Like, I mean, obviously I had an awareness of Art Powell and who he was, but I had no idea he held the record that long.
Yeah.
And a little self-check here. Biletnikoff was drafted in 65. I knew there was something familiar about that. Anyways, I overspoke that, but
I guess that was his rookie season.
Yeah, because he got drafted by the NFL and the AFL
in
the same year, and that's what's unique about Freddie B. Is he got drafted by both leagues in 65. Yeah, so that would have been his rookie year. Second round pick in the AFL draft, third round pick in the NFL. I wonder when Art Powell was he? And this is something that we'll learn during the break. I'm going to look this up. I wonder if Art Powell was a what do you call it? A charter member of the Raiders, like one of the original Oakland Raiders.
Yeah,
I believe
sure.
he was, but I'm going to look that up while we're in break. But let's go ahead and hit some contact information, and then we'll come back with a little bit of respect.
All right, boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh, he twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you want to, you can even email us, show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget Murf's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit?
Good. All right, so yeah, much respect to Art Powell and great stuff there, Swag Jeff. So Art was drafted in the NFL in 59.
Okay.
Played for the Eagles and the New York Titans, who eventually became the Jets.
Yes.
And then he didn't make it to the Raiders until 63. So he wasn't a charter member of the Raiders, but clearly one of the early legends for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, well, that was the first, Al Davis took over in 63.
There you go.
As the GM and coach. So, so he brought all of his, doing what he did his entire career, brought the best players that he saw and made them Raiders and made them great.
Absolutely. And also a local guy. Art Powell went to San Jose State, which is, of course, where I grew up, born and raised in San Jose. And so I also want to give respect in the chat. I believe it was, let me see.
Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland.
Well, yes. Thank them first.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're obviously across the pond, but they donated £4.99.
Nice.
Yeah,
we got a pound donation.
We got some pound donation.
That's money,
man.
dude.
Yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound around here at Raiders Fan Radio.
Yeah. We're all about the poundage here at Raiders Fan Radio.
Yeah, heck yeah. So I want to give respect to Knock Andrew. Knock Andrew says San Jose in the house.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, there's one of my homies right there.
Nice,
so absolutely,
nice.
Andrew. Yeah, born and raised in San Jose. I was born way back when in 1973 in Santa Clara, California, but then grew up in San Jose until late 90s, I guess, something like that, whenever I moved. But anyways, yeah, man, San Jose. In fact, I'm going to be in San Jose in a week. And
a week from today.
A week from today. So for those of you that are in the Bay Area, if you want to check in with your buddy Murf and my two boys, we're going to go to Domenico's in Alameda.
Yes.
That is, of course, our good friend Jeff and his family's business. And we're going to go have the best sandwiches there is in the Bay Area at Domenico's. We'll be out there. That is Thursday, the 17th of June at 2:00. So anybody that listens to this show, if you if the Bay Area is your stomping grounds, definitely come out and meet us and hang out with us and the Murphy clan who runs that Domenico's location.
Yeah.
And let's have some good food, man.
The Mangus brothers said they're going to try to make it there.
Awesome. I would love to meet the Mangus brothers in real life.
Yes.
I look forward to we already know our buddy Ty DeRaider is going to be there.
Oh,
look forward to seeing Ty. And you know, we hear and we correspond with so many folks. It's so cool when we get opportunities to meet people in real life and in firsthand.
Yep.
Usually it's around Raider games and things when we go to tailgates. But here's a really cool opportunity for us to all get together. So so thanks to all of you that are going to hopefully make it a point to come out and meet with us. That would be great to see you, of course. One more bit of housekeeping before we get to respect. I think we're going to do the Fannies on July 14th. So those of you that are new to the show, as I called it earlier, this is the offiest of the off season. Like, you can't get more off season between now and when training camp starts.
Right.
As soon as OTAs are over, we're in this like dead zone of NFL news. So that's typically where we do our Fanny Awards, which is just a super tongue-in-cheek, lighthearted approach at an award show, which, I mean, go figure, us being silly. And so that's our award show. It's kind of like, I want to say it's the highlight of our year, but as far as our show goes for self-reference, it's a fun time for us to kind of play.
It's self-referential to us, but it's more self-referential to you all.
Yes,
to the people that call into the show that are a part of this family that we call RFR. It's kind of a kudos and cheers to you guys, where we're able to highlight some of our favorite moments that you've been able to bring to us. So that night's all about you guys.
Absolutely, we do things like the Foggy Glasses Award, where who made me laugh the most in the previous year. We do our Gemini Man Award for the best twins of the show.
Yes.
We have a Best Jeff Award.
Yeah.
We have just like an overall like caller of the year kind of thing. Like, so definitely check that out. That will be on July 14th. Excuse me. That'll be on July 14th. Next week we're off.
Yes.
Because again, we'll be traveling. I'll be out there on the West Coast. So if you want to hear Raiders Fan Radio next week, join me at Domenico's on Thursday. Literally, we can talk in person.
Full on live take.
Full on live takes, absolutely. And so we will be representing.
And you get to meet what? Max will be there, right, too?
No, Max isn't going to be with us.
But you get to meet Vin.
Yeah, you can meet Vinnie and Tristan, my two sons.
Dude.
My sons will be with me. You can meet Max with me in July. We're going to be in Vegas. And so,
well, there you go.
Or you can come to the Crab Fest, and all that money, of course, goes to Blitnikoff. So
100%.
Max and I are going to be doing a lot of Raider-related things this year. And so it should be a lot of fun. And I say Raider-related. We're just going to have a lot of fun trips out there to Vegas. And it's going to be awesome.
All going to be good.
My boo, she's the best, man.
She's the best,
all about this Raiders Fan Radio stuff, and I'm so thankful that she's so supportive of it.
She posts on her socials and stuff, and tags us and throws on her Raider gear and stuff like that.
Dude, what?
I saw a picture of her at like a church event where they all had like different team sports or whatever, and she was rocking all Raider stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
All Raider
she
stuff.
sent me this today. She's not feeling so hot. She's like, I'm powering through, and I'm powering through. I'm being tough in my Raider gear.
Oh, I love that.
There's my boo, Max. So
I love it.
Much respect to Max. And so, speaking of respect, Swag Jeff.
Okay.
At the top of the show here, we always do a bit we call respect. We don't do props. We don't do shout outs.
We can't do shout outs. They're expensive.
Well, they're really expensive.
They're definitely not free.
No,
they're definitely not free.
Ain't nobody ever had a free shout out.
We paid a lot and it still ain't enough.
Ain't enough. But so that's okay. There's no free shout outs.
No.
We don't do props, but it's not that those are bad things.
No.
But we like to give respect.
Hey, a little respect.
Yeah, I like to give a little bit of respect. So at the top of the show, we're going to give respect. And look, we don't often respect people that aren't related to the Raiders, either, directly being a member of the team or being the organization itself or a fan, like, people that are affiliated with or related to our show somehow, like a listener or a caller or whatever. But in this case, we're going to give respect to somebody that has absolutely nothing to do with the Raiders, other than when we met him, he looked at me and he said, "Nice Raider hat."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because when we met this guy, I was wearing my Raider hat. So I want to give respect to Taylor Lewan, who is the left tackle for the Tennessee Titans. And the reason I want to give him respect is that Matt, Jeff and I met. I can't talk tonight. Jeff and I met Taylor last week when we jumped in to help the Bussin' with the Boys crew.
Yes.
Move their bus to a new undisclosed location.
Yes.
And so we had a chance to meet Taylor. And when you meet, I just call him like celebrity, but he's a pretty high profile guy in the NFL.
High profile players. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the guy that's going to be blocking for his quarterback to throw to Julio Jones. The Tennessee Titans and Tyler Lewan are going to be a big deal this year.
Absolutely.
And so we got a chance. And so when you meet people like that, you sometimes you just never know what you're going to get. And when you have somebody that's that high profile, that high paid, that, talented, they could have a tendency to have an arrogance about him or whatever. Not even the case. The nicest guy.
Absolutely.
Other than when we met those legends, those Raiders and things.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably the coolest NFL player encounter I've ever had.
Yeah,
nicest guy. Tell them about what happened, Jeff.
Absolutely agree with that. Taylor had no idea that we were going to be there. Went to their new spot, checked out where the bus was going to be parked. Didn't have to be kind to us or anything.
Didn't even know who we were.
Walked up to Murf and said, "Hell of a Raider hat, dude. I love it." And walks up to me. I shake his hand. He goes, "Oh, that's a hell of a handshake, bro." And then was kind enough to sign a jersey for me. And me and Murf and Taylor and the other host of Bussin' with the Boys, were kind enough to take a picture with us. But I mean, dude, seriously, one of the nicest guys ever.
Cutting up with us
for a high profile multi-millionaire. The dude was super kind and was talking with us and chopping it up and all that stuff, man. Just a class act, man.
Absolutely.
Just absolutely amazing. And I wish he was a Raider, dude.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that, man.
Yeah.
The guy's incredible. He's on the mend right now. Just he tore his ACL and MCL and all that stuff last year, but he's on the mend. Wish him a healthy recovery and stuff because he's just a great guy.
Absolutely, man. That's easy guy to root for, and yeah, so much respect to him. Also, too, while we did that. When we moved the bus, there was a picture of you and I with the other host of the show.
Yeah.
And it was cool. So much respect to our buddy Raider Cody also, because Cody put out a picture or put out a response to that picture that was on that guy's social media.
Yeah.
And he said, "I don't know who that guy is in the middle," and we barely did too. But he said, "I'm a big fan of Murf and Swag Jeff." So thank you, Cody, for that. That shout out on social media, man.
And
much
that other
respect
host said he was a huge fan of us as well.
Well, he is.
Well, yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Do we want to tell about how we almost crashed the bus?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay, we almost crashed their bus.
Well, maybe not. We saved. No, let's back up.
Okay,
Back up.
okay.
We saved the bus.
Well, thank you. It's all about perspective.
Bussin' with the Boys is a major podcast on the Barstool Sports Network. No free shout outs. We're not going to shout them out. But great show. Great show, and so they called on Raiders Fan Radio to help us out.
We're local guys now. We're
local guys.
We're big
dude.
Raider fans, but we live in Middle Tennessee now, so we help them out.
So they threw up the bat signal, said we need help. Murf, Swag, Jeff, we need the bus moved, and so we hired a tow truck company to come, and
we got connections.
We got
a guy. You need a guy. We got a guy.
We got a guy. So we hired this crew. They come in. It was seamless. It was absolutely perfect. Put it up on the truck. Took pictures with the other host of the show, besides Taylor, and it was fantastic. And get it out there. They back it up to the thing. I mean, the tow truck guy is a freaking pro, dude.
He's on point,
it
dude.
was like it's a little small 2-lane road, and he just swerves it in perfectly and backs it up and says, "Hey, you guys are gonna have to push it just a little bit to get it in because I can't lay it all the way down into the shop." We're like, "Okay, no problem, man. That's great." Well, so he's unchaining everything and all that stuff. And he said, "Okay, I'm going to start lowering it down." And so I'm standing behind. Murf is by one of the bus.
I'm on the driver's side
driver's
window.
side mirror.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so he starts lowering it down, and all of a sudden starts flying down.
All of a sudden, I see the guy look up. His name's John. Shout out John. Much respect, John, who did an amazing job this day.
Amazing job.
I'm gonna look at the camera. John's down here doing this thing, and all of a sudden he goes, oh no.
Oh no.
And I'm like, and I look up, and in front of the bus that's on this like 45-degree angle coming off the flatbed ramp is the tow hook going ting, ting, ting.
Absolutely.
And here comes the bus.
Absolutely, dude. And so I'm right behind it. I'm right behind it, making sure that it's not gonna, because if it was lower and slow, if it started going one way or the other, we could holler and wave. Well, I started hollering and waving because the thing was coming at us at like 20 miles an hour.
So behind us, there's another roll-up door.
Yes.
The roll-up door is open. At the back is the whole production crew for Bussing with the Boys. It's Will. Oh, no, excuse me.
It's the other host,
that other
besides
guy,
Taylor,
and some other people. And it's a dock door, so it's a 4-foot drop. And then there's a Comcast truck. So I turn around and I see that there's a Comcast truck, and they're all standing in front of it. And so my first thought is, okay, well, they can move out of the way. The Comcast truck can't. So the Comcast truck is going to stop the bus from barreling out of the back end. Because this is like, this would be then the road on the backside is also going downhill. So if it's not for the Comcast truck, the bus might just go for like a mile and take out a bunch of stuff.
Might end up at Nissan Stadium or wherever the hell it was
so
going.
I turn around and I go, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Yeah. And the other host's fiance is there going, oh no. And so me, big guy over here, I get behind the bus and I'm holding it.
Holding the bus.
I'm holding the bus, man, and it's sliding me back, but it's like OT. It was our version of OTA.
Yeah, we're moving the sleds,
we're
dude.
moving
Move
the sleds, man. So I'm holding it right there. Murf grabs a hold of the mirror and the bus, and he's holding the tow truck guy. The tow truck driver comes running around, and Adam's he's panicking, so he grabs the lug nuts of the wheels.
I'm like, homie's gonna break his freaking wrist or something,
dude.
grabbing the lug nuts.
So then all of a sudden, it's an old bus.
It's the grace of God.
It's the great.
Seriously, I'm not even
telling
joking.
you, man. God grabbed that bus and he stopped it because all of a sudden we're standing there when we're holding it and what's pushing us, and all of a sudden it screeches to a halt. Now, mind you, this bus has no engine, has no brakes, has no nothing, but this thing is rusted and all that stuff, and it just happens to catch. And it stops.
I think there's like the brakes were rusted or still engaged somehow, or something.
Still engaged a little bit. So all of a sudden the bus screeches to a halt, and we're all standing there. Some of them crying, some of them screaming, all that.
All
stuff.
of our hearts,
and it's like complete silence.
Our hearts are doing this.
And before Taylor gets there, the other host is standing right next to me, and I said, "Well, at least we don't have to push the bus."
The best was, I go, so we still need to move it? And they're like, no, man, it's good right where it's at.
That's right. No one touch it.
Nobody ever touch this bus ever again.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a fun time. Much respect to Taylor Lewan.
Much respect to Taylor Lewan.
Much respect to Taylor Lewan. Much respect to Raider Cody. Much respect to the Bussin' with the Boys crew.
Alex and the crew.
Alex
awesome
and the
dudes,
crew.
man.
They're awesome guys.
Yeah.
No free shout outs, but Alex has started his own marketing company and all that stuff.
Celebrate it.
He's helping other podcasters, and he's helping other people with social media, with production stuff and all that stuff. So, we may even reach out to him. We may, we're always looking to grow, dude.
Absolutely.
We're all looking to do some stuff. So
That's
much
right.
respect to that entire crew, as well as the other host of that show.
That's right.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Will Compton.
Sorry, wrong one.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
Nice.
Kevin the Raider Nerd asked, was the Benny Hill music playing during this bus incident?
Yeah, no kidding,
yes,
right?
I wish we had better video. There's a little bit...
There's a clip on their socials.
Yeah,
there's a clip on their socials where they're talking, and they've got the other host behind the wheel right there, and he's kind of steering it up the tow truck, and then they clip to another one where the bus is coming down, and you see a big old son of a bitch or son of a gun, and and that's me running behind the thing. But yeah, it's
oh my gosh,
yeah.
So unfortunately, they didn't have a camera on it as it was coming off. That would have been epic.
They caught the tail end of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good. All right, Jeff. Excuse me. Goodness. Mosh told me that the reason that I burp so much, I didn't know this. He goes, it's because you start talking so much. Like,
is that true?
I don't burp this much ever in real life. But he goes, because you're moving all your air around. He's a theater guy. So he knows this stuff. Yeah. And so he's
I don't ever burp.
You don't?
I mean, only when I drink alcoholic beverages and I and I
which I'm not saying, and I'm not doing that, but
yeah, well, that's more of a hiccup though. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay, all right.
Yeah, but no, that's I don't do that. I don't do the hiccups.
we're gonna
Or I
hear
don't do the
from
burps.
we're gonna hear some hiccups and burps actually.
Oh no way!
Well, we
oh,
might, 'cause
segue.
somebody might. Hey, we call that a tease in the biz. We might get to a little bit of tailgating too much, but first, Jeff, damn it, how long have we been doing this show for already tonight?
We're at almost 45 minutes.
Okay, so we're here at the top,
At the top of the show.
Shout out. Shout out the chat here at the top of the show, and then let's talk about the Raiders OT. Hey, guys, I got an idea, guys. Let's talk about the Raiders.
Yeah, damn it. We don't talk about the Raiders, okay? So we got the Big Easy in there. We've got Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Chevy Silver Raider, Pirate 1975, Yo Boom,
Max.
Yeah, Franklin 83, Lino the Full Metal Mexican, Franklin 83, I said that already. High Five Freddy, Sugar
Freddy.
Shane.
What's up?
Who else we got in there? Kevin the Raider Nerd, the Mangus Boys, Jesse Rodas. Who else we got in there? Hold on, I'm scrolling up. Jeffrey Arugalo, Arugelo. I don't know.
Guayo, man, it's Guayo.
It's Guayo, man. Well, he's just another member of the Jeff Nation, dude. Awesome, and Duet Stream is in there. Adam Hill is in there. Michelle Sweat. I mean, who's not in
so
here?
many folks. Thank
Who's
you
not in here, dude?
Appreciate all of you joining us tonight. Kevin Raider Nerd says GNR at Allegiant Stadium. Yes. The first rock concert at Allegiant Stadium is going to be Guns N' Roses next month, dude.
That's incredible.
So cool, man.
That's incredible.
I've never seen GNR live. I've been to a million.
Have you not?
No, and I've been to a lot of rock concerts, and that's my era,
me, dude.
Well, that's my era.
That's
you know what
your
I mean?
era,
But
man. I
never
can't
seen them live.
believe you've never done that.
No, never seen Guns N' Roses. I would absolutely love to. But yeah, that's awesome, man. And Kevin, if you go, like, give us and respect to Guns N' Roses too. I said we're going to talk about OTAs. Respect to Guns N' Roses too. They did a logo, their Guns logo,
dude,
with the freaking Raiders.
It's unbelievable.
With the Raiders shield and like
that
they're
needs
wearing
to be a T-shirt.
Yes, it does.
It needs
well,
to be a
you know,
t-shirt.
will be. You know, they'll be selling that at the
Absolutely.
At the thing. But absolutely. Yeah, so cool that GNR is going to be doing that and the way that they celebrate the Raiders. Of course, and Axel's been known to wear his like Raider jerseys and stuff on stage and all that. So we know they go back with the Raiders. Anyways, all right, let's get to OTAs. So we're going to get to a lot of audio tonight on OTAs. First off, let's check in. I'm just going to get right to it because we're already running long. Let's get right to it. Let's hear from somebody we don't hear a lot from, but somebody that we fell in love with his intensity at the draft.
Yes.
And we are really digging his intensity as a player. And I think this is someone we're going to hear a lot more from this season versus the season past, last year's rookie year. And I'm talking about Amik Robertson.
OTAs, man, you know, it's learning experience, everybody getting better. You know, most importantly, coming together as one as a team. That's the most important. That's the Raider coaching. But most importantly, man, you know, everybody coming together through OTAs, getting better, and you know, just learn the new defense.
When one guy makes the interception, we all make the interception. Come on.
Man, when you got guys like that in the room, man, you don't have no choice but to elevate. Guys like John Abram, you know, older guys like Nevin Lawson, Mullen, you know, guys like that, older guys, older vessels. You got guys like that to set the tone in the room. Everybody have to come every day to get better. Like, it's no other way.
Inside out there. Here we go, man. We out here. Let's do it right. Here. Let's go.
It's fun getting out here and grinding with the guys, working till that championship, man. Let's get it.
All right, there we go. There's Amik Robertson. I love his intensity, man. And I think that we got a lot to look forward to. I'm really excited about our young secondary this year. You know, I know that we all want to see the electrifying plays early on. We want to see the early impact. You know, I get all that. And you want to hear a lot from your draft picks early on, especially in their rookie seasons. But, you know, look, man, it's more frequent occurrence that you draft players that have to develop, especially when they're not, you know, first round or even second round guys. Like, you know, we heard Merrick there at the end of that clip. You know, he's going to be a guy that's going to impact right away. We would hope, you know, season one by the, you know, first handful of games. Yeah, we'll start to see Merrick have an impact. Guys like Robertson, sometimes they need time. Guys like Ruggs, it just takes a minute. Abram, you know what I mean? It takes time. It takes a couple of years, you know, so let's not get too wound up and in our feelings and all about PFF scores and all that stuff early on. Like, let these guys mature a little bit.
Let them develop a little bit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think that we're at a period of time where, you know, do guys like Damon Arnett need to become more established in year 2.
100%.
Absolutely. And if those things don't happen at that point, after we've seen a body of work after 2 or 3 years even, then at that point we become critical of players? Can at that point we become critical of Mike Mayock? Yes. But like this whole like rhetoric about like criticizing Mike Mayock now, I'm like, easy with that. And we're going to hear more on that in a minute. But yeah, like it takes time, man.
Absolutely. Well, and and what I like about Amik Robertson, and what I liked about him from the start, as soon as we drafted him, he got emotional during his call.
Yeah,
dude.
man.
This guy wants to be a Raider. He's hungry, and that's the kind of players that you want on your team. Whether or not you make an immediate impact in the league, you want a guy that's hungry and wants to play and wants to prove himself. And what more can you ask from a guy? Where'd he came from? Louisiana Tech or something like that.
MTSU rival, man.
An MTSU rival, dude. So, it's those kind of guys that, you want to see, because those are the guys that make key plays that, when it's time for you to prove yourself, those are the guys that are going to step up and make
Absolutely.
plays.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Well put, Swag Jeff. All right, next up, let's hear from a stalwart on the defense, or has quickly become that, and that's our good buddy Max Crosby. Max.
There's so many new moving parts to this defense with guys that have brought in either through the draft or free agency. I'm just curious, how is just getting to know your teammates and building some cohesiveness working out?
It's been awesome. I really like this new rookie class. Everybody's super humble from what I've seen so far and ready to work. So, it's encouraging. You see everybody coming in for a similar reason. Obviously it's very early. We haven't even put pads on. We just started, running around on the field together. So, it's just about building the relationships right now, being in the building together, and continuing to grow and, be on the same page. Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, with football, the things you remember is the camaraderie, at the end of the day. That's the things you miss the most. So being in the building is enormous. Being around the guys, it's not even obviously the football part's very important, learning the new system, things of that nature. But I think having that relationship off the field is what helps us on Sunday. So last year, I feel like that was a big struggle for us. A lot of guys were new coming in and just trying to learn and fit in, but now we really have some time to really meet each other, get to know each other, and be on the same page.
Thank you, Max Crosby. Like
Absolutely.
that's it right there. It's the exact sentiment that we were just professing about. That look, it takes time. There's so much to I think a lot of times as fans, because we can get caught up with seeing the early success of again, to use wide receivers as the example of what Jerry Jeudy did last year, or what's the guy in Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, early success, quick.
CeeDee Lamb. Those guys made immediate
right
impacts.
Out of the gate. Yes, but for the most part, the more again frequent occurrence is that it takes time to develop, and you got to remember too that these guys are humans and they're kids effectively. Kids is now as a 48-year-old man, I can call them kids.
Yeah,
it's a whole new world. They're coming out of college.
Yes.
They're entering into the NFL.
And let's not forget what happened last year. Oh, there was a pandemic.
Word.
You know what I mean?
You.
So,
thank you.
So, and that even stretches far enough to say, let's include Jonathan Abram in that. Because Jonathan Abram was drafted in 2019, gets injured his first game, out for the season. So really you look at Jonathan Abram last year as a part of the rookie class, and there's a pandemic, and we don't, I'm sure the meeting, obviously there wasn't fans in the stadium and all that stuff, but to go even further, the meetings were probably a little goofy and different and stuff like that.
Everyone was Zoom.
Everyone was all Zoom and stuff. So this year is going to really be a telltale sign of, what these guys are going to bring to the table and stuff like that. Yeah, we can't forget that. And I think people do.
I think they do too, man. I think it's a little bit unfair in terms of the criticism. Now, look, if 2 years from now, if these players still aren't playing a while and it's still, we're 8 and 9 or whatever.
Yeah. Then we can start calling for Jonathan Abram.
Yeah.
We can start calling for Abram to take 25 instead of 24.
Exactly.
Let's give the boy a chance, man.
Give them a chance, man. Give these guys a chance. And I think that, and I'm so thankful for Max's comments there, because look, and here's the other thing too, and I don't disparage anybody's opinions, because we come on this show to just espouse our own. That's what we do. We share our opinions about the Raiders, and all of your opinions are valid too. But I think that your opinion and my opinion is not as valid as Max Crosby's. Like
100%.
You know what I mean? He knows. He's in the building. He sees the way these guys are working.
Absolutely.
He sees the work ethic. He sees the dedication. He sees the progress. And so if his opinion is that it's going well, then I'm going to trust him more than I'm going to trust me or you or anybody else. Like, it's just, I'm going to take it from the word of the guys that are inside the building.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, all right. So speaking of guys in the building, so here's a great example.
Okay.
Colton Miller got crushed for his first year in the league. Every Raider fan on Twitter, Colton this, Colton that. It was a bust. It was a blah, 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 blah. Well, now, like, he's an absolute...
He's a staple on our offensive line,
Thank you. That's very well put. And, and playing next to him is Richie Incognito, who is now the de facto leader of our freaking...
100%.
Of our line, if not one of the big leaders on our team. Like, I think he's absolutely stepped into the shoes vacated by Rodney Hudson.
100%.
So you got Derek and Richie are now your leaders on offense. Wouldn't be surprised to me if he's a captain this year.
Yep.
I think that definitely that's something that you'll see Incognito with a C on his chest at 37 years old.
Yep.
But anyway, so let's check in with Richie and also with Colton Miller and kind of what their vibes are on OTAs.
Feeling good. How you doing?
It's my job to keep those guys going, keep them hungry, keep them humble. Coach Cable wants a very physical offensive line, and that's where I come in. I set the tempo every day in practice. I bring it every day, and then you get out in the games, and I'm out there mixing it up, and the energy's contagious.
I think we have a good group. We're just going to continue to work hard together. We're going to continue to invest. I try to get together as much as I can with the younger guys. I try to get in extra work. I try to lead by example. Really excited to take this team to the next level, and I'm going to do all I can to do that.
I love that. All I hear on that, and look, and I'm a sucker for leadership. It's what I went to school for. It's one of my passions in life. All I hear from both of those guys, leadership.
Yep.
And considering
100%.
that we lost Rodney Hudson, like, I know that
it's a void that needs to be filled.
Yes, thank you.
And, and for a guy like that, a guy that, came out of retirement to come and play for the Raiders, all that stuff. You want a guy like that to step up. And, and if Richie Incognito doesn't scream, I'm a Raider, just by, his demeanor, his play, all that stuff, his entire career, I don't know what will. He's a freaking Raider, dude.
He's a guy like we were mentioned about Taylor.
Yes.
Or even a guy like Richard Sherman. There are some players that you watch and I'm like, man, I wish he was a Raider. Because I see the way that
100%.
The intensity and the quality of play, first and foremost, or maybe even equal to, but that intensity that you see that's what was so synonymous with the Raiders.
Yes.
And the legacy that they built was on that. Yes, we're going to play like hell, but we're also going to be intense and be badasses and all those things.
Yeah.
Or goofy and fun or whatever else. But
right.
You know what I mean? But I just see certain players and I'm like, man, I wish he was on our team. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And Richie was one of those guys.
Richie's one of those
for
guys.
those years. I was like, man, I would love to see him be a Raider. And now sure enough, here we are. Got him late in his career, but we'll take it, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And, and like you said, with, a guy like Taylor Lewan and yes, and Richie Incognito is in that category as well. You want guys that, you lead the team, but you make it a family. Where you can cut up with each other and laugh and all that stuff. But when it comes down to time, they're the guys that's going to bust your ass if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
There you go. Hold you accountable, man.
Hold you accountable, dude. So yes, 100%. I absolutely agree with you on that.
Right on, man. Right on. All right. So there's kind of our little bit of OTAs. Now let's talk a little bit more about the Raiders as a whole this offseason. So, there's been a lot of criticism, like per usual. This is not new. But the Raiders were heavily criticized for their moves in the offseason.
Sure.
Not only for the draft picks, but obviously the free agent acquisitions.
We were ranked. Are we about to talk about that?
Go ahead, but say it.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it because it doesn't.
Peter King.
It doesn't effing matter who said it.
It just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter. Yeah, he said that we had the worst offseason in the league.
Oh, well, that was a different guy.
Who was that?
So Peter King had us at 23rd.
This
other guy had us dead
last.
Dead last at 32.
It was us at 32 and
chump though from some weak thing. It wasn't even though I don't like Peter King, I'm not a huge fan of him. he's a made man in sports journalism. Like, he's been around a long freaking time.
Sure.
So his opinion carries a little more weight than this chump who I never heard of this guy.
I can't even remember who it was, but yeah, I said the worst. I mean, what?
Come on.
I mean, we got Yannick Ngakoue, we got, John Brown, Casey Hayward. How is that worse than some of the other people?
Or that didn't do anything.
Or that didn't do anything.
You know what I'm saying? And like,
would you rather be in a position like us where we get those kind of guys, or would you rather be the Green Bay Packers, who was like, our franchise quarterback doesn't want to play for us anymore?
Yeah,
and we didn't get him any weapons,
or the Houston
and we didn't
Texans,
do anything.
Who not only did he not want to play there, and now maybe he can't because he's got these personal issues going on. Like, there are a lot of teams that are in a lot of worse spots than the Raiders this offseason.
Give me a freaking break, dude.
I'm with you, dude. It's so stupid. And so it's like, and if like, I would value that guy's opinion if it were critical of the Raiders offseason in, I don't know, 2014 or whatever else. Like, maybe not that one, because that's a bad one to pick. But like, you get what I'm saying though, that like, if you can look at it in retrospect, like, look back on it when you know how it played out. This whole idea of being critical of the team before you don't even know. You have zero clue what the Raiders are going to do this year.
100%.
So to be critical of them in the offseason is the stupidest thing. That's like draft grades and all that other crap. I'm like, you freaking, like, it's just clickbait. That's all it is, and it's just meant to get pod show hosts riled up, is all these things do.
And just another excuse for someone to slam the Raiders.
That's why I get butthurt about it, because all they're doing is taking pot shots. And so we're getting ready to hear from PFT, which I never feature PFT, because Florio, the guy that runs Pro Football Talk, and Peter King as well, are notorious for being pot shotters at the Raiders from the national media.
Right.
There's also a lot of local media and beat writers that take pot shots at the Raiders, Tim Kawakami and a handful of others. But in this case, Florio's one that does it. Now, that said, someone sent me this clip and I thought it was fair. So in the sense of fairness, because I'm so critical of people like Florio and that are in the national sports media, Mike Silver, et cetera, I figured, well, okay, let me return with a since they're having a fair comment, let's play this fair comment and discuss. So as I mentioned, Peter King's got the Raiders at 23rd overall for this past offseason. Well, I don't agree with that number. I think the discussion around this afterwards is fair. So let's check in with Florio and Peter King.
Raiders, you've got them at 23. Now, here's my question. If they finish in the 20s and thus don't make it to the playoffs for the fourth year of John Gruden's return, 4 for 4, no playoffs, is that enough for Mark Davis to make a change, or does John Gruden get a chance to go 5 for 5, no playoffs?
Mike, all I know is this. Gruden, in 3 years coaching the Raiders, has 6 fewer wins than Jack Del Rio had in his 3 years coaching the Raiders.
Boom. Now that's a freaking bombshell. That should get your attention.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously, I don't think Gruden is going to be in trouble if they win 6 games this year. But it's going to cause Mark Davis to really start thinking. And not just about John Gruden, but about Mike Mayock.
Yeah.
And, Mike Mayock's draft picks have to do better. That's all there is to it. And, I look at this not necessarily as absolutely joined at the hip, but this is a year the Raiders have to show progress. And these disappointing defensive first-round picks like Cleveland Ferrell, like Damon Arnett especially, they have got to start making plays this year. And they've got to start showing that they deserve to be top 20 picks. And it's one of the reasons, like when everybody looks at Alex Leatherwood this year, and when I wrote, a week ago or so that I thought that the Baltimore Ravens did not have, the word was that Las Vegas was worried about the Ravens jumping up to pick Alex Leatherwood, and so they didn't want to trade down. And I believe that the Ravens did not even have him in the top 2 rounds of this draft. So, again, who knows what to believe and what not to believe. But what I'm saying is Mike Mayock right now has not earned the benefit of the doubt on Alex Leatherwood. And look, for his sake,
fair.
Because I really like Mike Mayock, I hope Alex Leatherwood works out. But the reason why everybody is dubious about Alex Leatherwood is not just because he was picked higher than everybody thought that he would be picked, but because of the record of the Raiders draft choices early on.
I think if they don't make the playoffs this year, it's a given that Mayock is out. I think he was in more danger than anyone realizes ending the 2020 season. Gruden just wasn't sure who he would replace him with. Gruden's got more time. Gruden's got more equity with Mark Davis because Mark Davis views Gruden as his buddy, and it's going to take a lot for that relationship to implode. So,
interesting.
Look, if it was any other coach in any other city in any other circumstance, he'd clearly be at the top of the list of guys on the hot seat this year.
All right. So look, again, I don't care for normally either one of these guys. Used to like Peter King quite a bit, now much less than previously because of, but I don't feel like this is pot shotting. I feel like this is fair criticism. And here's where I think that we're at is that we've been screaming this all off season, that the importance of this upcoming year for the Raiders, this season upcoming, is going to define careers in a way that, and I know, and Mosh gets on me about this, but he's like, but every year is really important. And I don't disagree with that notion. But I think that when you look at career legacies, legacy of Mark Davis, the legacy of John Gruden, the legacy of Mike Mayock, the legacy of Derek Carr, these things are now come to a head where if the Raiders are unsuccessful this year, here's what we have to accept. All these talking heads were right. And that sucks. Like, because look, everyone's against the Raiders. Always, it's us against the world. It always has been, and it always will be. That fact won't change. But what will change is that the narrative that these people are continually promoting, that Mark Davis is inept, John Gruden can't coach anymore, Mike Mayock can't do it because he came out of the booth, Derek Carr is capable of winning a big game, yada, yada, effing yada. All of that stuff becomes true if the Raiders can't win. And so here's where I'm saying, Raider Nation, I can't stress this enough. I seriously, dude, think in the modern era of the Raiders, this is the most important season, at least in the last, I don't know, like seriously, since John Gruden's departure and our failure in the Super Bowl.
I was about to say, this is the most
important season, right?
It's the most important season, I think, in the last 20 years. I absolutely believe that. Because, you can look at a guy like Mayock and say, the same thing that you would say about a wide receiver that you've drafted. Give him a couple years to develop. Year 3 is really important. Is this guy for real, or is it a bust? So, yeah, absolutely. Look, Al Davis said it best. Just win, baby.
Just
win.
Just win, man.
Just win, dude. Because you win, you quiet everybody. And I'm talking to John Gruden. I'm talking to Mike Mayock. I'm talking to Derek Carr. I'm talking to Henry Ruggs. I'm talking to all 53.
Abram.
Arnett.
Come on,
everybody,
guys.
Mariota. I'm talking to you, too.
Bleedy Ray Wilson.
Who we just signed. Yeah, absolutely. We're talking to everybody. Just win. Shut the critics up, because you're absolutely right, and they're absolutely right. Because if this season ends up mediocre, another 8-8 season, I guess we can't ever be 8-8 again.
No, but watch us finish 10-7, narrowly miss the playoffs. The Raiders will promote the narrative of, oh yeah, we just got better. But in the meantime, we still haven't made the goddamn playoffs, and it's like now we're in this weird world where it's like, oh yeah, well we got better, but you're still not in the conversation in the postseason, and that is. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm fired up about this season, man.
Make the playoffs.
Make the goddamn playoffs, Raiders.
That's plain and simple. Make the playoffs.
Win the Super Bowl, but yes,
we all want them to go 17-0 this year and win the Super Bowl and all that. But yes, make the playoffs. Even if it means a first-round departure, make the playoffs. Let Derek Carr play an effing playoff game.
And then you can crush him.
And then you can.
Then if he throws 2 picks and 150 yards
100%.
and
Get
no
him
touchdowns, then and once he's in the playoffs, then you can annihilate him all you want because he'll have earned that.
Get him to the dance.
Get him to the dance.
Get him to the dance, man, because I'll tell you what, Derek Carr was a playoff quarterback last year. Plain and simple.
Amen, dude. Because
Plain
we know,
and
that's the
simple.
thing is that we know that once he gets to that dance, he's not going to throw 2 picks and 150 yards. He's going to throw for 400 yards and 3 goddamn touchdowns.
Absolutely,
that's what
right.
Derek Carr is going to do in his first playoff
defense. Hello.
Let's go, man.
Let's
Let's
step it
go,
up,
dude.
Let's step it up. Get DC4 into the playoffs, and everybody is quiet. And quiet is good. We like quiet.
We like quiet.
We like quiet. But they missed the playoffs for all 4 of Gruden's season. You said 4, right?
Yeah, and we're heading into Derek's 8th year.
Yeah. He's not
He's
getting
had
any
one
younger.
winning season. One winning season.
One winning season and 1 500 season, and everything else has been losing. And it's not because of him. I'm telling you. Look, this time last year, you and I had a show, rundown. We did a rundown and we talked, and we both talked about the 10-6 season that we always do. The 10 season that we always predict, and both of us had Marcus Mariota coming in for Derek Carr and winning a bunch of games. Well, that ain't gonna happen. I love Marcus Mariota. He's my boy. You know, if I meet him, I would literally melt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but you know, DC's our guy, man. DC's our guy. Get him to the freaking playoffs, and everything is quiet. But miss the playoffs, John Gruden. You missed the playoffs 4 years in a row, and your welcome home party or whatever the hell this is. A lot of people are going to look at you. You know, Mike Mayock. You have 3 losing seasons in your first 3 years as a GM. You know, now that Cleveland Farrell pick is not looking very good, and some of these other picks aren't looking very good. You're on the hot seat, bruh. You might be out. Yes.
I'm with you, dude. I hear it in you. And I feel it in the chat. And yeah, man, I feel it in all of Raider Nation, man. Like this, look, and again, and that's just the representation of the team on the field and relevance in terms of making the playoffs. Oh yeah, and by the way, it's our first season with fans at our new stadium.
100%.
What's week? I don't even know what the exact schedules are, but like, let the Raiders have a losing season at the midpoint and play a home game in Allegiant Stadium and see what Raider Nation does to you.
Yeah.
I know we got the glitz and glamour of Vegas, and we're all going to be on our Raider honeymoon and all that stuff in Vegas and all that because
that Raider Nation club is going to be a little sad.
That crap's going to wear off really effing fast if the Raiders turn in a turd this year.
100%.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, man,
it's important, man. This is such a huge season.
Such a huge season. All right, so enough of our raving and ranting. Let's check in with one more kind of off-season report. Let's check in with one half of Drake and Josh.
Okay.
And that is the Kenyon Drake. And I like Kenyon Drake, man. I like
the 1-2 punch, dude.
It's so good, right? Like I love that.
There's been a ton of 1-2 punches in the league. And I think this is one of the best. You know, I mean, being from Middle Tennessee, you know, I always think of Chris Johnson and Lendell White. You know, that smash and dash, you know, and stuff like that. But both of these guys have a similar game, and I like it. So, you know,
for what Raidery, it's Tyrone Wheatley and Zach Crockett, you know what I mean? Or even Charlie Garner you can mix in there.
100%.
You know what I mean? That double dose of running
so if
back,
Josh
man.
Jacobs needs a break.
Or Bo and Marcus Allen. How about that one?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Greatest
no problem.
ever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I love this idea of like having Kenyon be the short yardage guy. Also, he's an incredibly talented pass receiver.
Absolutely.
We're even talking about him playing wide receiver at some point.
I don't even look at him as a short down back. I mean, he's just
so powerful, though, man.
He is. But he's a 1,000-yard rusher, dude.
That's true. And so Josh is powerful too, man.
I know, dude.
This is
so
that's
awesome. What I'm saying. It's Josh Jacobs and Josh Jacobs in the backfield. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously.
Well, or Josh Jacobs with better hands. Drake's got better hands than Jacob. But anyway, so let's check in with Kenyon Drake, and so I've got. Let me find this here, and then also you're going to hear a little bit of John Brown on the back end of this.
Okay,
and this is look. I'm not making this the Derek show, but look, he's our quarterback and we want to celebrate him. They're talking about who Derek Carr is, not only as a football player, but a human being and how much they like him.
Derek Carr is very cerebral. Obviously, he's been in this offense for a while, this league for a while. Arm strength is uncanny. Real, just keen leadership skills, and really commands the attention and respect of everybody in the huddle once, we get in there. But also is a real chill, laid-back guy. Been to his house, met his family, had, like a cookout with him and a few other teammates. He's just a real open, person, and definitely respect the guy, and want to continue to see how far we can take this ride this year.
He's a man of God, and that's one thing I definitely respect about him.
Come on,
and,
man.
That's what I love. But just his work ethic, and the things he continues to do for this offense, he's just a great person all around.
All right, there we go. Kind of cut short. That was not me. That's from the video itself. But yeah. So I mean, obviously acknowledging his faith, which we love.
Yes,
we love that about Derek Carr.
Yeah, and you know what? And the guys that the Carr. It's always funny. It's two different groups. It's the Carr haters and the Carr stands.
Yeah, he's very polarizing. You're either one or the other.
You're either one or the other. But let me give you a stat.
Okay.
Let me give you a stat. There's only 3 quarterbacks in each of the last 2 seasons that have thrown 400 yards and less than 10 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr.
Let's go, dude.
I mean, come on, dude.
Come on.
What more do you freaking want, man?
Nothing.
I mean,
that's that's the company you want to keep.
That's
right
the company
there.
that you want to keep. That's the NFL elite. And I'm telling you, this time last year we had our doubts. We had our doubts. We had our doubts. But the dude has proven himself. And this time,
2020 was a good year for him, man.
2020 was an incredible year for him. And if his defense was just a little bit better, we'd be we wouldn't be talking about, is John Gruden ever going to make the play? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
we were almost there anyway. We almost swept the Chiefs, y'all. Like listen, we
100%.
were 3 points and 28 seconds away from sweeping the freaking Chiefs this
100%.
year. Like, come on, man, we're not that far off. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yep.
All right, hey, I want to shout out and give respect to Aaron Crocker in the chat. I believe he's the one last week from Australia. I missed calling him out, and so I want to definitely
I love it.
Respect that. And so we got Damage Inc. Scotland in there.
Yeah.
We got Australia in there tonight amongst our normal chat.
Worldwide, dude.
Worldwide, man. So we appreciate you.
Love it.
Checking in, and so down there in Australia, they've known to tip a few back. Yeah. There's a reason Foster's comes in an oil can.
Foster's Australian for beer.
That's the reason that it comes in that giant can.
Absolutely.
They like to tip them back in. We all kind of like to tip them back every once in a while around here. Well, sometimes you tip them back a little too much. And at a Raiders tailgate, Jeff,
it's almost expected.
It's pretty rampant. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we've been there. We got a little turn. You know what I mean? We got a little lit, bro.
We've been known to do that. We've been known to do that at Raiders tailgate. Absolutely. Enjoying the food, enjoying the company, enjoying the adult beverages in the parking lot before you head into the game. So there's a segment around here that we do called Tailgating Too Much. If you're
my
new to the
favorite
show.
ever.
You like this one?
My favorite.
I think I might have gone top rope with this one.
Okay.
This might be one of the best Tailgating Too Muches we've ever done.
All right.
So we love you, Kenyon Drake, but I'm sorry because you were tailgating too much. So we're going to pick on Kenyon Drake. He turned up one too many Fosters at the Aussie freaking Aaron Crocker Raiders tailgate before his press conference. And so let's check in with Kenyon Drake when he's been tailgating too much.
Derek Carr is very cerebral. Obviously, he's been in this offense for a while, this league for a while. Arm strength is uncanny. Real, just keen leadership skills, and really commands the attention and respect of everybody in the huddle once we get in there, but also is a real chill, laid-back guy. Been to his house, met his family, had like a cookout with him and a few other teammates.
Oh my gosh!
Kenyon!
Yeah, dude. Hope you weren't doing that at DC's house. Jeez, bro. Holy hell!
Oh my gosh! All right, Jeff,
That's the best.
Take us to break.
Hey, this is Scott, former Los Angeles Raider. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murf and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Brockman from The Rich Eisen Show.
And it's Del Tufo from The Rich Eisen Show.
You're listening to Murf and Mosh on Raiders Fan Radio. Yes!
Uncle Mosh, you're the smartest man alive.
Patrick Claybon with NFL Network here. Hey folks, I know 3 things you might like. Do you like football? Do you like the Las Vegas Raiders? Do you like listening to things? I'll add a 4th. Do you like swag? Well, here we got Swag Jeff, Murf, Uncle Mosh. This is Raiders Fan Radio.
Oh my gosh. All right, so we're going long tonight. So we're gonna unfortunately have to take our Dark Side of Football segment and move that to next show.
It's gonna be so good, though.
It's gonna be so good, and I don't want to rush through it. So I don't want to move through it too quickly.
Yeah.
So let's just do this because this show. Okay, so I'll just set it up a little bit so you know what I'm talking about. So on the Vice channel,
okay,
they do this show called Dark Side of the Ring.
Okay,
that Mosh has told me about.
Yeah,
and it's about.
Behind the scenes stuff and all. Yeah,
that's what they do, like Chris Benoit and like any of the like darker side of wrestling. Well, they started a new one called the Dark Side of Football. And so like the 3rd episode ever of the Dark Side of Football is titled Once a Raider, Always a Raider.
Love it.
And it's freaking awesome. If you have a chance to watch this, Raider Nation, go seek it out on Vice channel. You can even find it online and you can enter in your cable provider credentials or whatever, and you can watch it online. Go watch this thing. We'll talk about it in depth on the next show because again, I don't want to move on from it too quickly tonight, and I've got a lot of sound bites from this thing.
Yes.
But I'll play you the first one. So we'll call this a teaser. I'll play you the first one. Here's the intro to the show. After this intro, Jeff, go ahead and hit the Sea of Fans music, and then let's move into that segment. But check this out, Raider Nation. This will get you fired up.
If you talk about the underdog, the outlaw, the pirate mentality, nobody embodies that more than the Raiders.
You could actually see the decal on the helmet, which was swords and a pirate.
They would take your head off. They would decapitate you. They were out to break bones.
That was love at first sight, baby.
The Raiders are more than just a team.
What was it like to be a Raider? Once a Raider, always a Raider is one of our sayings.
They're a state of mind.
Raider Nation means a brotherhood. Raider Nation is power. The fans are rebels in a way to where it's us against the world.
Their mantra, just win, baby.
If he won for Al Davis on Sunday afternoon, he could overlook almost anything that happened the rest of the week.
Became a license to break rules.
They were coming for you. They were going to do it by any way that they could to make sure that they got the desired result. And as long as the Oakland Raiders had the bigger number, that was like the only thing that mattered.
And sometimes...
When Romanowski signed with the Raiders, he had that old-time Raider thing of screw the rules and let's go kill people.
Break more than rules.
Marcus went down holding in his eye, and then we later heard that he had a fractured orbital bone, and that was the end of his career.
It's what the Raiders call...
I wasn't going to take shit from anybody.
Their commitment to excellence.
This is a game of respect. And if you're going to let somebody punk you, they will punk you right out of this league. I never let somebody punk me in the NFL.
Isn't that cool, dude?
Yeah, I kind of got chills a little bit, dude.
It's legit, dude. It's so good, and I can't wait to share this with you all. And I apologize, we're gonna keep it off this week, but we'll just say this: this will be a good opportunity for you all to go and see it before we talk about it on the next show.
100%.
All right, so there it is. It's Dark Side of Football, Vice Network.
Yeah.
The episode title is Once a Raider, Always a Raider.
Absolutely. So, Murf.
Yeah.
You missed a segment.
I
pal.
missed a segment, man.
You missed a segment.
Call me
pal.
out, Jeff.
And it's a big one, dude.
It's kind of something we need to talk about.
Yeah, we're only talking about the greatest Raider coaches of all time.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's do that.
So we're talking about the greatest Raider coaches of all time, and I sorry to shift gears, slam them on you guys like this, but we were sent an article this week by. Well, we weren't sent it. I found it online. It was somebody sent me the link, and it was by Raider Maven.
Yeah, Raider Maven,
which is a Sports Illustrated website, and the gentleman that runs that is Hondo Carpenter.
Okay,
you've heard Hondo on Raider Cody's show a handful of times.
Yes,
and so they do like great Raiders content throughout the course of the year, and the latest article that they have out are the greatest Raiders coaches of all time. We talked about with our good friend QB Jeff last week about the greatest Raiders quarterbacks from Raider Maven. Well, here we are once again with the list of greatest Raiders coaches. And the author of this article is Tom Lamar. And so I thought this was fascinating because it did not go the way that I thought it would go.
Okay.
So let's ask the chat room here. So chat room, shout them out, Swag Jeff, and then let's give them a chance to answer this. Give us who you think your greatest Raiders coaches are.
1 through 5.
1 through 5. Like, go deeper than the obvious one of John Madden. Go 1 through 5, but call them out, Jeff, and then let's give him a chance.
Yeah, we got Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Lena the Full Metal Mexican, Aaron Crocker, Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland, Big Easy, High Five Freddy, Tyrone Grave, Sugar Shane, Daniel Mangus, Matthew Mangus. Who else we got in there? Kevin the Raider Nerd. Who else we got in there? I'm scrolling up. Greg Salas is in there. Dell Jr.'s in there. T3 Sports Guy's in there. Yeah, we've got a ton of people and a bunch of people a few people I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah,
so
man.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we turn to you. Who's your top 5? Kevin the Raider Nerd, Tom Flores is number 1. High Five Freddy, Tom Flores number 1. Ron the Mater,
there we go. You got it.
Ron the Mater Raider, Madden number 1. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Australia is Australian for beer. Yeah. So a lot of people, I mean, obviously Madden and Flores, 1 and 1A.
Madden and Flores.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, that's, it goes without saying.
That's pretty easy. And that's where, like, okay, so I said that this was fascinating to me. And yes, 1 and 2 are Madden and Flores. Like, that's easy. Like,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
just, when
absolutely.
you look at what
Super Bowl winning coaches, I mean, plain and simple.
Legacy, like, John Madden's, like, his winning percentage, everything is just, it's incredible. And then, of course, Tom Flores.
Yeah.
For all the reasons
Daniel
that
Mega says Jack Del Rio.
Yeah. Where's Dennis Allen on this list?
Yeah.
Tom, not Tom Walsh. Where's Norv Turner?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so it's obvious, and we've rhapsodized enough lately about Flores and especially Madden too over the years that you if you don't know, then like go look it up. Like, right. You need to know. If you call yourself a Raider fan and you don't know why Madden and Flores are 1 and 2, then just do more research on it. Doesn't make you a bad fan.
Yeah.
It just means
Madden isn't just the video game guy.
Exactly.
He's the greatest Raider coach of all time.
Amen. So okay, now here's where it gets interesting. Okay. So let's see what the chat has to say.
Yes.
I want to know how many of you would have John Gruden in the next 3.
Right. So, okay. So Tyrone Graves has, in this order, Flores, Madden, Art Shell, Gruden, and Al Davis.
Interesting.
Big Easy has Madden, Al, Flores, Gruden, Rouch.
Okay. John Rouch makes an appearance. Okay.
Absolutely. So, let's see.
Any other ones in there? T3 Sports Guy. What's
T3 Sports Guy. Madden, Flores, Del Rio, Gruden, Davis.
Okay, interesting. I love it. All right, so here's
he has Del Rio as the 3rd greatest coach of all time for the Raiders.
Look, it's his opinion, so he's not wrong. But man, I don't know if I see it like that. I don't know if I mean, but it's fair. I mean, considering that he turned us around and brought us to the playoffs for the first time since John Gruden. Yeah. Like, that's a fair argument to be made for him.
Absolutely a fair argument.
Okay, so Fisher in there, F. Fisher 55. He says Al Davis turned the Raiders around. Yes, and in Al Davis, who was our coach for only just a few years.
Yeah, 3 years, right?
Al Davis from 63 to 65, he's got number 3 on the list. And I think that, would you consider that Al was the general manager and the coach and turn the Raiders from a floundering.
How many people have done that? How many people have been a coach and a GM?
Belichick, you know what I mean? There's in modern day terms like
official.
I mean, there's a handful.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a handful. I mean, I couldn't quote you on it, on everybody over the years, but like Ditka, was one, for the Bears. Like there's a handful that when you climb to a certain prominence, you know what I mean? Look, effectively Gruden is, you know what I mean? Or was.
Sure.
You know what I mean? At one point, you know what I mean?
Kind of still is.
It kind of still is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, by title they have Mike Mayock. But in terms of by title, I'm trying to think of who else off the top of my head. I'll come back to you on that because that's a great question. Belichick's the easy answer. Sure, that's the most obvious one of the modern
High Five
era.
Freddy says Madden, Flores, Davis, Gruden, Del Rio as well. The Full Metal Mexican, Davis, Madden, Flores, and then nobody named Kiffin.
Excellent.
Truth.
All right, so Davis is third on the list, and that's a tough one to argue against. Because
he's the Godfather.
He's freaking Al Davis. You know what I mean? Even though it was only for, but here's what I think is important about Al Davis is that he kind of continued to be the coach even after he stopped being the coach by title.
Yeah.
So I think that's significant, and I think that's fair to put.
Yeah. Miguel Ruiz says he puts Al Davis ahead of Flores.
Well, see, that's where it gets tricky because I would too, but not on the field. Like on the field sense, if we're going strictly head coach, it's got to be Flores. But what I've always said is the catch on Flores, and you could argue this, frankly, for any of the Raiders coaches aside from Gruden, that Al Davis was always the mastermind.
Right.
Yes, John Madden was huge, no pun intended, in the formation of the Raider mentality and the mystique and all that stuff. But it really, genesis of it was Al. Same thing with Flores. Same thing with all these guys. So it's hard to not put Al, frankly, as number one. If you're gonna move Al on the list, you just move him to the top and say, well, it's because he was the
GM
archetype.
He was the GM and coach for a long time.
That's what I'm saying.
He was the GM and coach when Madden was there. He was the GM and coach when Flores was there. He was the GM and coach the first stint with Gruden, with Art Shell, with
John Rock, everybody. So, and that's where I say that, and that's where it gets tough. And that's where, and every once in a while, Jeff, I'll catch some flack. People will say, oh, he's always Murf never gives enough credit to Flores. And I'm like, because the reason why is that when Flores didn't have Al Davis, he wasn't very good. His record is terrible without Al Davis.
Right.
Where when you look at John Madden, we never saw a body of work for John Madden when he wasn't under Al Davis. So I don't have a reference point. All I know is what he did when he was a Raiders coach.
Yeah.
So that's where I if there's any criticism, and I don't want to beat up on Flores any bit because he's going in the Hall of Fame.
He's the Iceman,
I don't want to turn that into this into this conversation. But that's why. And same thing you could say for John Rock, and you could say for Art Shell and everybody else.
Right.
Al is he was the overarching brain behind everything. He had his hands in literally everything.
Right.
The reason John Gruden left the first time was because he was beginning to overshadow Al Davis, so Al traded him away.
Right.
So that's why it's hard. Okay. So anyway, all that said, if you're going to move Al on the list, you move him to number one. If you're not going to do that, I think 3 is fair.
I think 3 is very fair.
3 is fair. Madden, Flores, Al Davis. Now, here's where it gets interesting even again. John Rock, 66 to 68. John Rock
They have him at 4.
Number 4.
Okay.
So here's your next one on the list is John Rock. Now, where I totally support this is that we, as prisoners of the moment in the internet age, don't have the access to the AFL Raiders like we do whatever era of the Raiders of recent. Okay.
Sure.
The Raiders of the AFL were one of the most dominant, badass, innovative teams that has ever existed in the history of football. They are up there with the Cleveland Browns, the Chicago Bears, and I'm talking about old school, like 40s and 50s.
Right.
The Green Bay Pack, in terms of innovation and things that they did to literally define what this league has become. That's what the AFL Raiders were.
100%.
And this dude was their freaking head coach.
Right.
So now Al Davis fired John Rock because he didn't win the Super Bowl when we played those Green Bay Packers.
Uh-huh.
And so Al Davis got rid of his ass and he hired John Madden. But still, John Rock was the head coach during Darryl LaMonica, Warren Wells, Ben Davidson, Jim Otto. Like, you're talking about the legends of like
Art
the
Powell.
old Art. Thank you. You're going back a ways with him. And so I think that it's very fair to credit him, although he was unceremoniously dismissed because he didn't win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because Al was what? Just win, baby. You came in second place.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
If you ain't first, you're last.
There you go, Ricky Bobby.
You know?
Don't you put that evil on me.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think that's a fair spot for John Rock, number 4. Like, but I don't know, like, I don't know how you leave Gruden off this list because number 5 is Art Shell.
Okay.
So now here's where, like, I love, like, looking at this list, when I first saw the headline of it, I wouldn't have thought Art Shell. I would have never have put Art Shell on the list. I'd have put Gruden there at number 4 or 5 with Rock at either one, okay?
Right.
But when you read the article, and here's what a good journalist will do to you, is a good journalist will shed some light on something or to bring bring about an awareness that you didn't previously have. This is why journalists that live on Twitter and their 140 characters and their BS and their freaking clickbait junk and all that stuff, this is why I have such a hard time. I won't make it a thing bigger than as a media as a whole, but sadly, we have fallen into this notion to where it's pot shot, it's one-liners, it's this, it's that. Guy like Hondo, and in this case it's Tom Lamar, the author here, really brings to light some very critical points about Art Shell's coaching career that are very salient and I think important and really sold me on this. That like, no, John Gruden does not belong on this list.
Okay.
It's Art Shell belongs at number 5 because Art Shell did a lot of the same things for the African-American community that Tom Flores did for the Hispanic community.
Sure.
So, and there's a lot of responsibility and weight that comes with that. And when you are then prove how worthy you are to that position and find success when Art Shell turns around the Raiders in the 90s, and if not for Bo Jackson going down with a broken hip against the Bengals, the Raiders freaking probably rolled deeper through that playoff run, and ultimately not just that season, but beyond that season.
Right.
And I think that when Art Shell was literally had the weight of not only his community, but returning the Raiders to a relevance that we hadn't seen since he was a player. And so when you take the importance of that moment and the importance of that he took, in Los Angeles, all the things that were surrounding that, the importance of that era, and then kicked ass.
Right.
Like that, and that's basically what the article lines out, and Tom Lamar lines out. And I agree. And it changed my mind. I was like, you know what? He's right. It's not John Gruden. It's freaking Art Shell. Gruden's clearly 6. And I think, and if anything, I'm swapping out Gruden for John Rock because of like Gruden did bring some innovation, did bring his West Coast offense, did bring a lot of things to the early 2000s.
Right.
And I'm rambling at this point, but if you clear, I'm passionate about the Raiders history. I loved this article. So much respect to Hondo.
Yes.
Much respect to Tom. Great job. Check out Raider Maven. Man, read their stuff. And Jeff, I've espoused all my opinions. Give me yours, and then after that, then definitely take us to see a fans.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the same page, dude. You and me. Yes, I think John Gruden might be that number 4 or 5 spot. But no, I think this list was great, and their reasoning behind it was even better. They didn't just say this is my list because this is how I feel. I mean, they spelled it out, and when you read it, you're like, oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. So
and shame on me for not considering those things.
Absolutely,
that was the other thing. I'm like, oh, well, why didn't I think of those things?
Didn't I think?
Why
of that?
didn't I think of that? You
Absolutely,
know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. So no, it was a great article. If you haven't read it, check it out. Raider Maven, the best. I think it was spot on. I think it was absolutely spot on.
Excellent job.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Let's go to the Sea of Fans.
All right. Good luck to you.
There he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's tied, he throws. It is. He caught it.
All right, Raider Nation, appreciate you hanging in here. with this episode number 206 of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody that is in the chat. Ron the Materator, of course, is in there. The Big Easy, Lino the Full Metal Mexican. Who else we got in there? Jeff Murphy. What's up, Jeff? From Domenico's is in there. T3 Sports Guy is in there. Michelle Sweat is in there. Sugar Shane. Matthew Mangus. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, of course. High Five Freddy is in there. We appreciate all of you. Aaron Crocker still holding it down for Australia, where it's like, I don't know, what, winter there or something? Anyways, appreciate you joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. So we're going to jump into the sea of fans. That is where we hear from you, Raider Nation, the best emailers and the best phone callers. We might even see if I can get my my youngest son, Vinnie, over here to help us read an email. Yo, Vanuch! Vinnie! Yo! You want to come read an email? Or you finish your level there. Look at Vinny's over here playing video games. I'll go to this camera here. Vinny's back there playing Destiny. Anyway, so appreciate all of you that contacted us this week. And if you don't contact us, make that a part of your week. If you're in the chat room,
yeah, why don't you do it?
Hit us up, man. Look, it's the offiest of the off season, so it gets a little lean around here in terms of like contact from the emails and the phone calls. So help us out, man. Throw some stuff. CT Frankenstein. Oh, that's Frankie Mosqueda. What's up, Frankie?
Hey, and
Greg,
Jeff Murphy's in there.
Yeah, I just shouted him out while you were in the.
Oh, good.
While you were in there.
When I was in the can.
Yeah.
Tailgating too much.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. Give me the first email, and then we'll let Vinny finish his game, and then we'll let him read the big one.
Okay. Well, look, here you go. You just
give it to me.
You got this little one here? Yeah, go ahead. Well,
I got a little one right here. Story of my life.
Oh my God.
Dear.
It's all about how you read, Jeff. It's not about what you read with.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And now for something completely different.
We've now gone off the rails.
Yeah. Dear RFR.
Yes. Hi.
First of last week's show had me in stitches. I was laughing so hard, and it was so cool to have a Raiderette in the fan cave. 100%. My PET.
Yeah, that was cool. Much respect to Michelle, man. How fun was she, man?
That was one of the most fun shows I've done in a
So
long
fun,
time,
man.
And and she's another one. Obviously, Jeff Murphy's one of our best buds. All that. Domenico, shout out QB Jeff. But I was, I didn't know what to expect, like the nicest girl that you may ever meet.
It's the best part is that I hear the door open downstairs and all I hear is
Raiders.
Yes.
Good. So good. Yeah. Welcome to the cave.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So absolutely. So my PE teacher was a Raiderette until 1981, and she cheered on legendary Raiders like Snake, Freddie B, Art Shell, and many others.
Oh, cool, man.
She has a jacket that was given to her by our owner, Al Davis.
Man.
Yeah, very cool. Now on to more pressing matters. ESPN has shown their ugly head again by saying that the Raiders had the worst offseason. At 29 are the Houston Texans. This is laughable. The Texans pissed off their franchise quarterback and replaced him with a scrub quarterback from Stanford, and then with very little tape. They lost J.J. Watt. Need I say more? The Texans definitely deserve the bottom spot, not the Raiders, but that's just the East Coast hate we always have from ESPN. And going to love, and I'm going to love making Bill Barnwell and the rest of ESPN look like idiots. Anyway, love you, RFR. Siri, play Chiefs Suck by the Raider Karaoke Kid. Yours truly, Daniel Mangus, proud made man, 2019 Gemini Award winner, two-time BRT Sizzler Award winner.
Nicely done.
Yeah. There you go, Daniel Mangus. Get you some, bro.
Mangus.
Yeah. Vinny.
You're going to come read an email or what? All right. Well, come on in.
Turn the game off. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
Okay, right. Shout out to Vinny.
What's up,
He's
Vin?
wearing a sweet so Murf here in the fan cave
is I got all the gear, man. I got
all the gear, man.
I get all the Josh Jacobs jerseys.
We gave away a Josh Jacobs jersey last week.
Yeah.
And the old Vanucci over here got another Josh Jacobs jersey, man.
Vinny got
my gosh, and it fits you like a damn glove, bro.
Hold on, Vinny. Can you hear now? Let's see about it now. You got it now?
I got it now.
Hey, there you are. What's up, Vinny?
Hey, what's up?
I like that, man. You're representing over there. Looking good. Yeah. Okay, so while you're reading, so that's, of
and
course.
He got pants on. That's always a good thing.
Put some drawers on, bro.
Put some drawers on, bro.
All right. So Vinny is going to read. Who do you got? We got Paul there, buddy?
Yeah. Do we need 30 seconds of Paul? I
You want to
think.
go 30 seconds of Paul to start us off?
I think I need 30 seconds of Paul.
I think we should get some.
All right, well, let's start it off with 30 seconds of Paul.
Paul! 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 Paul!
Paul.
Paul!
Paul.
Paul! Paul! Paul!
Paul.
Paul!
Paul. Paul. Paul.
Claude! Claude! Claude!
Paul.
Paul! Paul! Paul!
Shit.
Paul! Paul!
Paul. Your name Paul?
Paul. Paul.
I met him with Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul. Yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul!
Hi. I'm Paul.
All right, now hang on. Now, last week when I left the no, it was 2 weeks ago. When last time Vinny was here, welcome to the show too, son. By the way,
Thank you very much.
so last time Vinny was here to help us read emails, he was reading Paul's email, and I went and used the restroom. When I came back, I found out that Vinny had been spewing vulgarities on the show. Swag Jeff.
Yeah, you dropped. Yeah, it's been what 2 weeks in a row. We've had to get the bleep button ready, and we haven't had it ready.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
so now I'm gonna go.
The dump button was not working.
So the Paul's email is now in Vinny's hands.
Yes.
So now Jeff, I know you've got your own children, but I'm gonna ask you to look after mine while I'm gone. If he starts getting all raw and vulgar and all Sam Kinison
I
over
don't
there,
have a problem slapping the bleep out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, all right. So handle business for me.
Yeah, I got it.
All
Yeah,
right, all right.
yeah. Go Pepe.
Okay. Oh, tell them how you can contact the show, by the way.
Yeah, so obviously you can find us on all social media platforms at Raiders Fan Radio on Instagram and Twitter, at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast on Facebook. You can obviously find us on the YouTube.
America, go to the YouTube right now.
At Murf's Fan Cave, where you can find every show, Raiders Fan or RFR Live. Yeah, you can find us everywhere. Yeah, we're on the Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Vinny, you were the one that told your dad to get on the Twitch.
Yeah, me and my brother.
Yeah, yeah. You guys are watching. You guys are watching the video game videos and all that stuff. So yeah, so why not put a little Raiders up in the Twitch world?
Yeah.
You know, what do we call that? Because we call it the Twitterverse. So what is it? The Twitcherverse?
I guess yeah.
Is that what you call that?
Yeah, that's what all the kids are calling.
Is that what the cool kids are saying? That's what your dad always says. Yeah, it's what the kids say. It's what the cool kids are doing.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. So welcome to RFR Live, Vinny, and we got a little Paul action going. So go ahead and take it away, pal.
All right, I will. Evening, everybody. Hope you are well. Firstly, this week, a huge thank you to Michelle for reading out the emails on last week's show.
Yes.
Despite me and Matthew Mangus throwing a couple of curveballs at her.
Hey.
I apologize for the Dallas/turkey/stuffing section of my email.
You done?
I'm reading an email.
Damn it, Murf. He was on a roll, pal.
Come on. I hadn't messed up yet.
Nah, he's about to, though.
Yeah, I apologize for the Dallas/turkey/stuffing section of my email. But in my defense, I wasn't expecting her to be reading them out. However, she handled things with style and grace befitting a Raiderette. We're heading towards the quieter time of preseason, not my favorite time of year. And I've been checking out our current 90-man roster, trying to see who I believe will make our final 53. It's hard to do this year as depth of quality is better, and I've tried a few different approaches, all unsuccessful. So far, I can only get 59, and I'm struggling to see where the other cuts will come from. Put this away, and our practice squad could look very healthy this year. Or put this way, our practice squad could look very healthy this year. I think you mentioned on the show a couple weeks ago, and on the show with Graphic Raider, that this year we will be releasing really talented players that'll be picked up very quickly, as opposed to recent years when we've struggled to get that 53 million times, or to get that 53 at times. I have to agree, but in saying that, I still have a nagging doubt about the depth in about the.
You had it.
You're good, baby.
I was so close. As opposed to our recent years when we've struggled to get the 53 times, I have to agree in saying that I still have a nagging doubt about the depth in one particular area, which I'll come to in a moment. Balance and competition seem to be the key words around the facility, and there's no denying we have that almost everywhere. For example, I have 6 receivers on my list: Ruggs, Renfro, Jones, Brown, Snead, and Edwards. That may seem excessive, especially when we know our
It's a lot of wide receivers, man.
especially when we know our best receiver is a tight end, but I think they'll all play their part this season. The battle at center is intriguing. Center, right? Yeah, center is intriguing.
You got it.
We seem to be okay for the foreseeable future with James, Martin, and Morrissey, and I still miss Rodney Hudson. There's also a choice at DB, and there are some difficult decisions on the horizon for sure. My area of concern is at LB. I've got 6 to retain on my list. Littleton,
Kwiatkowski. I say it like this. Kwiatkowski.
Oh, that sounds like some ASMR RFR.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, Nick Kwiatkowski, to Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, Morrow, Diablo, White, and Muse. I'm thinking Littleton, Kwiatkowski, and
Kwiatkowski. Put a K in there. Kwiatkowski. 2 Ks. Kwiatkowski. There you go. This is what happens in the back end of the show every week.
Just cue me when you're about to say the name again.
Yeah.
Read that sentence again.
Okay.
All right, I'm thinking Littleton,
Kwiatkowski.
and Morrow are starters, but when injuries or the rigorous season kick, what in the world? But when injuries or the rigorous of the
rigorous.
Okay.
You almost had it.
The rigorous of the season kick in can we rely on the others to play a bigger role consistently. Kwiatkowski. I've seen.
This show's going off the rails, man.
Yeah,
take us home, Vinny. Take us home.
Every time I come on this show, something weird happens.
All right, take us home, son.
We've seen a few positive moments from the White, but Diablo is a rookie, and so is Muse, really having missed out on the season.
Yep.
So my question for this week is: should we be looking for another senior, proven LB, to give us a really strong spine through the middle of the field?
There is that guy that played for the Titans last year.
Yeah, he's opposite of Taylor Lewan on Bustin' with the Boys.
Yeah, he's a glue guy, locker room guy. They call him.
Yeah, is that what they call him?
He's got senior linebacker.
He's got shiny new teeth.
Yeah, Paul, that's what we would pick. Go ahead, Vinny, go.
All right. Graphic Raider did a video early this week where he mentioned the same concern and spoke about KJ Wright being a good call. I'd be interested to know what everybody else thinks. He's
solid.
He played in the Bradley system, so absolutely it's viable. Yeah.
We still have a little wiggle room with the cap spare, and there's always the possibility that Jalen Richard will be released, freeing up a little more.
Richard.
Same.
Whatever, same thing.
In Madden, they call him Richard. That's what he knows him from.
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Isn't it a reassuring feeling to have this kind of competition for places, though, rather than filling the roster with players we know we can't really rely on? If we can solve the LB issue, we shouldn't be running out of talent anymore, Murf. We have a good blend of youth and experience with fresh, purposeful coaching ideas from someone who knows his job, and enough players on the field with points to prove to themselves as well as to others. Finally, within a couple of weeks, we'll be hitting the part of the year when news is at a premium, but the rest assured nation, August 14th, is only 9 weeks on Saturday.
Let's go.
And that's only 63 sleeps until the first preseason game against the Seahawks.
Nice.
The excitement is starting to build now that Guns N' Roses have announced their show and the Death Star will finally come to life.
Yes.
Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton. I always mess up his
Edgerton.
Edgerton.
I think it's Edgerton. I don't correct us,
Edgerton.
Paul. One of these days on your next email, is it Edgerton or Edgerton? I always say Edgerton.
Edgerton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shropshire,
Mississippi. Pauly Award winner 2019. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time.
Five-time. Gotta say it like that.
Five-time, plus one winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Yeah! Way to go, Vanucci.
Thank you very much.
Nicely done, son.
Thanks, pal.
I didn't mess up too bad that time.
You did good. Man. Yeah, no, it was your dad and I that were throwing you off the rails.
Yeah,
bud.
it's because we're over here, you know what I mean, giggling and
being
laughing
goofy,
and being silly and throwing you off
too much.
Yeah. So thanks for taking time out of your game to join us here on the show. Well, and if you want to meet Vinnie live, you can meet Vincent, and you can meet me and my other son, our older son Tristan. He will be with us at Domenico's on July 17th. No, June. Scratch that. June 17th.
Yes.
At 2 p.m. At the Domenico's in Alameda. And so that's, oh my gosh, I can't wait.
That's going to be good, man. Dude, I'm so jealous. I'm like hella jealous that you guys are going to the home office.
I know, right?
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I want to give a shout out in the chat to Hefe KC. Hefe KC, who's a huge Chiefs fan.
Hefe KC, like he got put in timeout.
He got
that
put
was the
in
guy that used
for
to
a while, and So he said 150 days to a loss to Kansas City.
You must have missed the early part of the show when I referenced the fact that we almost swept your guys' asses last year, and if it weren't for 28 seconds,
hey, Hefe KC, look at me. There you go. That's for you, baby. Thanks for coming to our Raider podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
So you know what a chef's kiss is? That's when a chef goes.
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay. So there's a thing. If you listen to Kevin Smith's podcast, they talk about Jeff Bridges doing a Jeff's kiss, which is effectively a chef's kiss, but coming from a Jeff, you could actually do a chef's kiss. So you know what, Hefe and KC?
Yeah.
Jeff's kiss.
And who is it? I think it's this is inappropriate. I don't care. So I think
keep it PG-13.
No. I think Dane Cook says. I think it's Dane Cook or no. It's Chris D'Elia.
Okay. Oh, Chris D'Elia.
Yeah, D'Elia.
Yeah.
He says. So when you do this, it's like you kiss a butthole and it explodes. So that's for you, Hefe KC. There you go. Go on and get you some, bro. Thanks for not tuning into a Kansas City podcast because they don't have those. They don't have those. They don't have them.
Vinny's dying over there.
Yeah, he loves it.
Vinny, look over here. Lean over to the people. Vinny's dying because Jeff just did the exploding butthole kiss.
There it is, bud. Right there for you. Coming at you. Coming at you.
Okay.
Thanks for coming, dude. Hey, look here. We really appreciate it. You know, we really appreciate it because you've livened the chat up.
Oh my!
You've livened the chat up, and everyone, we're all just loving the fact that you're in there.
Oh my gosh,
because it's something for us to talk about.
Jeff's kiss.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Just for you.
Hit a break and let's do the voicemail.
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Locklear.
Oh, jeez. Running bear!
This is Phil Filipino.
Running bear's in there?
And you're listening to
Oh my
Raiders
gosh.
Fan Radio.
I got this. Okay, so thank you first off for all of those of you that are joining us live. Everybody on Murf's fan or YouTube.com/Murf's Fan Cave. A few weeks ago, going back a hot minute now, when I shouted out and called out and gave respect to the made men and made women, we did our list, and there was a couple in there that we hadn't heard from in a long time. One of them was Running Bear, and Running Bear is in the chat. Much love, much respect to you, Running Bear. So great to see you back joining us, and hope all is well, man. We're always 100%. Thinking about you, and much love to you from the RFR crew. Give him some applause there, Swag Jeff, man.
Absolutely,
good to see Running Bear.
Yeah, good to see you, bud. Good to see you.
Very cool. All right, Swag Jeff. So the made men and the made women are anybody that calls this show, leaves a message, and it gets played 3 times or an indefinite amount of emails. And the leader of that crew, because every crew needs a captain.
Everyone needs a capo, bro.
Absolutely. And so our capo is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, and he always kicks off this segment. And why do I not have his? Oh, no.
What happened?
Oh, where's Aaron's?
Do you not record it?
Oh, no. What happened?
I don't know.
Shoot.
What happened?
Where's Aaron's freaking? Oh no!
You don't have this.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what? We're gonna go on the fly here.
He didn't swear.
No, he didn't. So we're
just hit the just look here.
Just press the damn
That's what I'm gonna
button,
do. So hang on, we're gonna do this on the fly. Okay, we're gonna get to Aaron's voicemails. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's check in with Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider.
Greetings, Don Murf, Underboss, Sonny, Consigliere Moss, Swaggy J,
hey.
Raider born Rico. Big Raider trucker, Mojo from When the Universe Speaks, Ramon the Mean King, Splatterhead from Inebriation Nation, Ron the Mater Raider Nation. What is there to talk about? I mean, really, baseball sucks. The NBA playoffs without the king, I mean, that ain't moving the needle. I mean, former Raider Mark Patterson, I mean, apparently reached the pinnacle of Mount Everest. I mean, come on now. Former Jags, Donkeys, Raiders linebacker, and 31-year-old Las Vegas resident Brandon Marshall apparently is leaking that he has interest in rejoining the team for camp. Hard pass on that one, partner. Now, starting cornerback Trayvon Mullen, after 2 weeks of OTAs, has had a little bit of praise for our rookie cornerback and Louisville, Kentucky native Nate Hobbs out of Illinois, saying that I feel like Hobbs is going to be a really talented addition to our team. He practices hard. He goes through his drills well. I feel like he's going to be a good player as long as he keeps his mentality up and shows up every day. Now, we can say that about everybody, but nobody's saying anything about the red-tipped partner on the other side. He may lose his spot. He may not be the only one, number 24. Beloved former Raider Matt Millen, he was on Pritch and Clay, the morning show on
show.
Raider Nation Radio.
Absolutely.
He has some positive things to say also about another Raider, and our coach, Tom Cable. Now, he went on to say that Cable now has a rookie, and I guess he intimated that might have been Leatherwood, on the offensive line, and the offensive line is always about communication and covering each other's mistakes. It's going to take some time, but Tom Cable should be able to get the most out of it. You got to love that type of high praise going into the season when there's so many questions about our offensive line after we got rid of so much proven talent. Now, due largely to COVID last offseason, the team had to do a lot of meetings and stuff via Skype and things of that nature. But this time, now that COVID's behind us, people are vaccinated. They're starting to talk to the players about their interactions and having a more traditional camp. And once again, our apparent leader on the defense, Baby Cleveland, cue it up, Murf. He's been quoted as saying that the main thing is communication, over-communication. Now, I don't know what over-communication is, but I guess that's something you major in at Clemson. But, hey, whatever it takes. Now, let's talk about Kareem Jackson. Kareem Jackson, he's been running his head talking about Deshaun Watson is interested in becoming a donkey. The hit list. Safety, Rashawn Golden, Eric Magnuson, tight end Carson Williams, Jim Rome, insurrectionist, and, as per usual, Mike Ditka. Respect goes out to Sugar Shane, his lordship, Paul from Shropshire, Mississippi. Her lordship, or ladyship, let's go with Haley. Sisters in yoga pants everywhere. Stand up. B-Dog in a pasture. The real B-Dog in a pasture. QB Jeff, and all 1 million Jeffs in the so-called Jeff Nation. All Raiderettes, Maid Michelle,
yes.
Coach Davis, Raider-born Rico, Death Scroll Steve in H-Town, let me have a parody, if you will, Kill Jadis, Graphic Raider, Samoan Raider, Sanjeet Raider, and my man, Tyrone Graves. Root.
All right, let's go. Aaron and Q-Dog Raider.
Always coming in hot,
Love
bro.
it, man. My favorite was when he called out Cleveland Furl. And yeah, hit it.
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't furl.
And he goes, over communication. That must be a major at Clemson. So funny, dude. That was awesome, man.
I love it.
That was awesome. All right, so well done there from Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. And yeah, if you want to be a made man or a made woman, call the show, man. We love hearing from you this time of year because we get a bunch more emails and voicemails during the season. This off season, man, we love your content. So
yes.
get it coming to us.
Yeah, it's a fan-run show, dude, in the off season like this, man.
Yeah, more of you and less of us is good. 909-345-3346. All right, so speaking of that, all right, Jeff,
Yeah.
Our callers are so incredibly creative.
Absolutely.
And so we've gone down now this road. It's been so much fun where people are calling in as wrestlers and they're doing promos.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing promos as wrestlers. So we've heard from Razor Ramon, we've heard from Dusty Rhodes, we've heard from of course Randy Macho Man Savage, a couple different versions of Macho Man Savage. Now we've got a new caller, and this is Scott Steiner. So for those of you that are old WCW fans, or even the newer, what is that? AEW that he's in? Was he in AEW for a minute?
Who's that?
I don't remember. Scott Steiner. I just remember from WCW.
Yeah, either that or Impact or
Impact. That was the other one he was in. Yeah. So Scott Steiner, otherwise known as Big Papa Pump, who's absolutely one of the best promo guys there is. And so, don't you know, someone called in with their Scott Steiner to Raiders Fan Radio. So let's check in.
This is Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, dropping a liner for Raiders Fan Radio. And when I'm in Sin City, my new town, where the Raiders get down, all my hoochies come around. Now the Buckeyes, they suck. And if you like the Kansas City Chiefs, you suck too.
Yeah, they do.
And before I go, there's only one thing you gotta know. That the Ohio State Buckeye fans and my hoochies got one thing and one thing in common. They both go crazy over a nut. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Thank you, Scott Steiner. Thank you, Scott Steiner, man. What a call.
Call us two more times.
Two more times, you can be a made man.
Oh, my gosh. All right, let's go to our next caller. Let's hear from our buddy Trinidad.
Hello, Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff. This is Trinidad from California, and I just got back from Las Vegas this weekend after visiting Allegiant Stadium for the first time. This weekend was my first opportunity to sit in my seats, and it's difficult even now to kind of describe how exciting it was. And so just about everything in the building feels brand new, and super excited for the first season to be played in front of the home crowd there in Vegas. But thinking about that, I was thinking wanted to take a minute and give thanks to all the times in Oakland. So want to give thanks to all the times that we blasted some Dr. Dre, Snoop, some Too Short. Want to give thanks to all the times that we blasted Mexican music and every taco of carne asada, tri-tip, ribs, chicken, hamburgers, and hot dogs. And I want to give thanks to all the friends that I met in Oakland. Want to give thanks to all the people that were inside the Coliseum that sold us beer and hot pretzels, and want to give thanks to all the staff that got me in the door and to my seat. And that wasn't always easy. So I want to give thanks to the BART pedestrian walkway that gave me a comforting hug when we lost, and let me and the mass of Raider fans one last opportunity to give out a scream of Raiders when after we won. And so that's always going to be with me, and I think it'll go wherever I go. But this weekend, thinking about it, I mean, we're going to Vegas, so don't have an exact plan in terms of the tailgating and whether we'll be driving or whether we'll be flying. But I'm sure that good times are to come. So win or lose. So hope to see you all there at some point. Go Raiders.
All right, go Raiders, Trinidad. That was awesome, man.
Good call, dude.
Absolutely. So Trinidad, call us a couple more times. Trinidad, we see all the time in our chat.
Yeah,
and Trinidad,
call us again, man. You need to be a made man.
He needs to be made, man. I looked because I was like, when I heard that voicemail, I was like, was Trinidad made? I was like, he's got to be, right? So I went and looked on the list, and sure enough, he's not. Like, so Trinidad, man, we've known you for a long time. He made the Calavera skull for Uncle Mosh. Like, Trinidad's been around our show for a long, long time. Keep those calls coming, man. Fire off an email, whatever it is.
And that call made me so hungry.
Oh my gosh.
So unbelievably
talking
hungry,
about the Raiders tailgates,
talking about
dude.
Oakland tailgates, dude. I mean, like, talk about, the tacos, the carne asadas, all that stuff,
Like,
dude.
our
Like,
boy Mojo
my
put on a
mouth-
freaking badass tailgate for us
Dude.
2 years ago.
Like my mouth waters every time I think about it.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
It's so good. Matthew Mangus said that made all of us think about the fat of the week. Because thinking about the tailgates, we all could be fat of the week. You know what I mean? Oh, it's so good.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so good. And so and I loved the spirit of his call. Like thanking everybody that was
Thanking everyone that was in Oakland.
That was kind of like a love letter to the
it.
Coliseum, man,
Yep,
and
the
everything.
farewell.
Yeah, man, and it's
Love it.
Dang, man, that's Jeff's kiss to the Oakland Coliseum, man. Like that's I'm gonna miss the freaking Coliseum, but
oh my gosh,
we're gonna love the new version. It'll be different. It'll be a new, a new version of Raider Nation, or a new version of the stadium, and all that stuff. And then, and hopefully, we'll get a new version of the team, because the last handful of Oakland teams have not been all that great. So yeah,
it's gonna be good this year.
Yeah, let's go. Let's effing go. All right, good stuff, Trinidad. Hit us up again, man. Let's hopefully hear from you next week. All right, next up, we're gonna hear from. Speaking of wrestling promos,
okay,
we're gonna hear from our good friend Kill Jadus.
Oh, nice.
Well, crap. That didn't go as what we were hoping.
Oh, yeah, well, it doesn't matter if Julio Jones goes to the Titans or whether it goes to some other team. We're going to be fine, Joe Jadis.
Okay, well, you say that, but I mean, honestly, we could have probably given them something more.
You got to think about the future, Joe Jadis. Are we really willing to give up that much just for a wide receiver?
Well, the star receiver like Julio Jones? I mean, yeah.
Well, we shouldn't be doing that, all right? We need to be going and trying to improve the receivers that we have now. Yeah. We got a solid core of wide receivers. And they're going to go and they're going to bring us to the top. Yeah.
Okay, well, man, do we have anything to talk about this week?
It's kind of a lull right now.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, it looks like ESPN believes that the Raiders had the worst NFL season ever.
Oh, that's just the mass media talking. Don't you know that, Joe Jadis? They just think of nothing but hate for the Raiders. ESPN analysis should probably go ahead and not be listened to at all. In fact, the mainstream media should not be listened to. They should be listened to as much as the nutritionist and the fitness coach of any Reid. Yeah, they should be ignored, blocked out, because there's nothing that's good that they want to talk to us about.
Well, this is definitely a very slow week, though.
Well, it don't matter.
Well, oh yeah, Houston Raiders Steve said something.
The Houston Raiders Steve must have been a little bit drunk. Let's not get into that. He's a good guy, all right. Go ahead and play me out, Murf. This is a short week. Ooh, yeah.
All right, there he is, Kill Jadis. Nice. Yeah. I got nothing to. Well, there you go. Here, there. I got nothing to play out with. It's a quiet week. There was that missed the celebratory, the end punch that a play out would have there. Kill Jadis, it was good. But I feel you, like the vibe of like it's the offiest of the offseason, as I've said. So, but we always, of course, appreciate your call, and so thankful to hear from you this week. And now we got one more. So he referenced Houston Raiders Steve,
yes.
our good buddy Steve down in Houston. We call him the Historian, and he always calls with a great call. And oh, by the way, we're going to award a Sizzler Award to either the best emailer or best phone caller this week.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's our last caller eligible. He is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murf, Mosh, Swag, Jeff, Nation, Made Men and Made Women, Houston Raiders Steve here. Topic came up, how did you become a Raider fan? I'm going to ask all of you after this, I end my call. I became a Raider fan back in the Heidi game back in 1969 when the Jets were playing. The Raiders out there, obviously, we all know about the Heidi game, but they said the Mad Bomber. I fell in love with that name, the colors. Daryl LaMonica as a quarterback, man, he was throwing it all over the field that day. I became a fan of the Raiders that day, 1969, the Jets game. Next person I was a big fan of was Jack Tatum. Being from Columbus, Ohio, my dad was a Ohio State alum. We went to the game back in '69, Champaign-Urbana. Saw them play against the Fighting Illini. Jack Tatum was on that team, Woody Hayes' team. The previous year, they were super sophomores. They won the national championship. They won it at Champaign that day. And I was able to meet Woody and Jack Tatum. John Brockington played for the Packers and some other great ones. Rex Kern. Man, dream come true. Flash forward, Kenny Stabler, that game against the Immaculate Deception, ran in for that touchdown. By the way, Frenchie Fuqua did touch the ball in that play. And as our good friend Bill Villapiano said at the last game the Steelers played over there at Black Hole Tailgate, the ball hit the ground.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Nice.
The ball hit the ground. Also, last one was, of course, Steve Wisniewski. He went to Westfield High School. His best friend was my sister's best friend. And, of course, he went to Penn State, and his brother Leo Wisniewski played in the pros, too. So I was a big fan of them. When we lost the Oilers, I became a fan. They started showing any other team because we didn't have the Oilers anymore. So I got to watch a lot of the 3 o'clock games that Wisniewski was playing in. So that's how I became a fan. What's your take? Goodbye.
Nice.
Good stuff, Houston Raiders. Steve.
Goodbye.
Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to we're way over. I just looked up and I realized we're over 2 hours, so I'm going to keep my answer really, really quick.
Okay.
So I became a Raider fan in utero. My mom and my dad went to the 72 World Series to the Oakland Coliseum to watch the A's play in the World Series. That was my first trip ever to the Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah.
And I was born into a family that was completely crazy about East Bay sports, grew up an A's, a Raider, and a Warrior fan. Never left. I didn't have a choice. This was literally like I was born like this. So as old as when I was old enough to know the Raiders were a thing, that's when I immediately became a fan. And thinking back to like the players, like to me as a kid, and you've heard this story a million times, but like to me, the Raiders of the 70s were superheroes to me.
Yes.
They were literally bigger than life. They had, the nicknames like Snake and Foo and Assassin and the Soul Patrol and all the wonderful, Kick 'em in the Head, Ted, you name it, Man from Mars. So they became bigger than life to me.
Yeah.
And so as a kid, I was so impressioned by that that was it. It was a slam dunk. I was going to be a Raider fan for life and the end. Give us your answer, Jeff, and then take us into the Sizzler.
Yeah. So April 2019. April 2019 was the day that I let my 2 best friends in the entire world jump me into the nation.
Your 2 oldest friends.
My 2 oldest and my 2 best friends. Yes, yeah.
Because we're literally...
You're the 2 oldest guys that I hang out with. Absolutely. Everyone else is my age or younger, but because, the 2 of the ones that I hang out with the most are 4 and 2, so,
yeah.
But yeah, no, my 2 best friends jumped me into Raider Nation and I didn't look back. And, I've already experienced a lot of heartbreak, just like much of Raider Nation has.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm fully in Raider Nation now. So
are. Yeah.
I'm fully invested in.
You've already been through the highs and the lows of a Raider season.
The highs and the lows, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah,
I'm all in. So every week, Uncle Mosh will deliver the Sizzler Award winner, and when he is not here, Swag Jeff gets those honors. So we got a couple emails. We got obviously the email from Paul, which is always great, eh?
Yes.
We got the email from Daniel Mangus, who says that there's no way that we had the worst off season. There's no way possible. Absolutely not. Of course, we got a call from the Capo, our leader.
Let's go. Good tonight. So good, Capo.
Man. Absolutely, it's the best. Then we got a surprising call from Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner, he brought
Big
the heat,
Papa
man.
Pump, man.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we got a call from Trinidad, who shouted out Oakland.
Love
absolutely.
that call.
Love
dude.
that call,
so
man.
Good.
Just such a salute.
Call us again, Trinidad. Keep
A salute
coming,
to Oakland, man. I love that. And he made me super hungry, so I'm going to stop on the way home and get a Big Mac or something like that just to celebrate. And then, of course, Houston Raider Steve brought up his fandom began in 1969 with the Mad Bomber. It jumped him into the nation, and then we talked about our experiences. But this week's Sizzler.
Okay, here we go.
Sizzler, we're talking about a guy that may have gotten hosed last week.
Oh.
He may have gotten hosed last week because of an F-bomb that Michelle
So is this a
dropped.
makeup call?
No, I wouldn't say makeup call because it was a good call.
Okay.
But maybe a little bit of a makeup call.
Okay.
Just a little bit. So this week's Sizzler goes to a guy that says, "No, Julio, no problem." And he says that there's a lull in the season, and we're talking, and a lot of the ESPN people are talking about hate for the Raiders, but it needs to be ignored, just like Andy Reid ignores his fitness coach. We're talking about Kill Jadis with
Let's
this
go!
week's Sizzler
I am
Award.
the Sizzler.
Nice job, Kill Jadis.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler. Sizzler.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Not Aguilar. No.
F. Aguilar.
Well, let's go with Kwiatkowski. All right, appreciate you, Raider Nation. Thank you for checking us out here tonight for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 206. Check us out anytime on the Murf's Fan Cave Podcast Network by anywhere you can find an audio podcast. Just search Murf's Fan Cave. That is MURFS Fan Cave. And subscribe, like it, share it. Tell your Raider friends. Tell your anybody that you talk about the Raiders with, tell them to listen to this show, because the more listeners we get, the more attention we get with this show, the more revenue we generate, and the more money we can give away, because we give away 100% of the money we make around here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, everybody that was in the chat. Thank you, Swag Jeff.
Yes.
Thank you, Vinnie.
Yes, thanks, Vanucci.
We appreciate you all joining us tonight. Swag Jeff, take us home.
Hey, and so we thank Raider Nation, obviously. Hefe and KC, I'm talking to you, man. Tell all your Chiefs friends. Tune in.
Yeah.
Tune in, because there's no Chiefs fan radio. Absolutely not. And thank you to everyone else in the chat. The Full Metal Mexican, Greg Salas, Todd Clements, Franklin83, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Matthew Mangus, Daniel Mangus, the Full Metal Mexican, Michelle Sweat, Navy Vet 43. Who else we got in there?
Terrence
Carey is in there. Thank you so much to everyone. I saw a bunch of new faces in there. Steve Richardson, Ron the Mater Raider. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Thank you to Tyrone Graves for a $5 donation, Matthew Mangus for $2.99 donations and a $2.99 donation, Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland with a $4.99 pound donation.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, man. Franklin83, $2 donation, Israel Mandora, $4.20 donation. Thank you. All of that will go to the One Nation Foundation and to the Bolitnikov Foundation, where we will present a fat check to them on your behalf. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Thanks for tuning in to Raiders Fan Radio episode 206, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And don't forget, everyone, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Yeah.
Get out, YouTube.
Good night.
Way to hit the post, Jeff. Must run in the family.
Yeah, it does.
Get better, Woody.
Truth.